Black men. And what we're going to do is I'm actually going to go through some stuff. I'm actually multitasking right now. So I'm going to go through some stuff and you may hear me kind of a knocking. That's just, I'm on my whiteboard right now, kind of thinking. And I just want to talk to you all real quick while I was doing that. Cause I mean, we keep it real, off the cuff here. And anyway, I just want to get some stuff off my chest. And then we're also going to do an Ice Cube, the part one of me going through that 30-minute video with Ice Cube. And shout out, I forget who the person was that put me on that. I think it was PK, I don't know. But Ice Cube has had some other interactions with sisters as well. On Roland, no, it was with Roland Martin and Simone Sanders, which I'm gonna see if I can find, where Roland Martin asked Simone Sanders about Ice Cube and just the vitriol with that. So we're definitely gonna go through that. But first off, let's talk about the first part of the title. Well, let's get some business out of the way. So first off, I'm gonna be doing a couple of things here. I really don't want to dilute stuff. So what I'm probably gonna be doing is I'm probably gonna put the classic black men the classic man channel is actually going to be its own thing that's already there. But for all the other things that we're gonna talk about, I'm gonna probably keep it on this channel. So I'm not gonna create a whole bunch of channels, so I got to worry about a whole bunch of things. I'm not doing that shit, not right now. I want to focus on that because that I want people to understand that my goal is to get the best information. My goal is not to, obviously, I am going to look for black men to give the information. There are black men that can give the information. I'm going to push, but at the same, just to show that that's there. But at the same time, if there's somebody like Erica or somebody that I know has a lot of information to help brothers, and I mean, they've done stuff, then you better believe I'm getting them. So I'm letting y'all know, if y'all see females in the audience, that's going to be a completely different vibe over there, because this is about business. This is about getting stuff done and getting people the information. And the audience, everything is geared when it comes to an audience, but when it comes to business, it's who has the information, who has the experience, who can make it happen. It's not necessarily about it's got to be all men all the time or all blackity black. I'm not necessarily going to do that. I am going to aim to definitely get a lot of black men on there, though, as far as interviews, because I think it's important to me to show that all the answers that black men seek, black men have. It's very important for me to show that. But I'm also going to be doing some other stuff, and so I'm letting y'all know right now, women or other groups have never taken over my shit because I don't have a hidden agenda to want to justify doing that. Like, for instance, if I want to deal with other groups, I'm just going to create another channel, or I have my stuff that's rotated through my personal name that I do that's completely independent of the manosphere stuff. So I don't have an incentive to be trying to take a certain audience somewhere. I don't have incentive to do that. So I just want to let y'all know that up front. Secondly, the email is edwardanderson300k@gmail.com. That is in the description. I will make sure I start putting this stuff in the description up front. For those of you all that are commenting, saying I'm forgetting things and this like that, you are not wrong by doing that. Keep that is what, I appreciate it. I'm not going to, because if I said I was going to do something, I need to do it. The video link down there to the For Quality of Life, which is an older video, so I may redo it a little bit, is down there. So subscribe to the channel. Just subscribe to it. I'm gonna eventually start putting videos up there. Right now I'm kind of getting some stuff squared away, and obviously, I mean, y'all know the Cash App, y'all know PayPal, but I'm not, that's there because people be asking for it. But all that stuff is appreciated. So yeah, I'm actually looking at this whiteboard. Well, a couple things I'm trying to put together. So yeah, man. And I'm excited about it because it's going to allow me to deal with other areas and networks of YouTube that I don't did like, and bring it to you all, so you'll see kind of her personality with me when it's not just all the shit we talk about, although it's important. Now, one thing I want to say too is, man, I know a lot of people have issues with the manosphere as artists. They feel like it's been stagnant, and I'm not gonna act like it hasn't. I mean, things have moved, forward, but for like a next level, and it's good that people are hungry for that, and that there's a discourse around it. I kind of think that you got a lot of they're talking a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, I think it's more that they don't know how to move forward, meaning they don't know how to really take the bull by the horns and make it happen. Um, so it's like this constant. I'm just gonna yell at the ether and hope something happens. And I'm not saying it is what it is. But one of the things that people have to understand is when it comes to what we do, you're thinking about economics and power. Sometimes you're gonna have to be creative about how to plot a course. We have to be clear here. The shit that we say is not economical. You can see that with Ice Cube. You can't make your money doing this shit. Fuck Tommy's an exception. And Tommy ain't got money like that. We know how the system is, and economics is a big way of is the main way of control how people act. And unfortunately, you have a lot of people that they don't want to be honest about who they are is not lined up with their economic. We're going to take something like what we do when it comes to black male empowerment. And I want people, and this is what people need to understand. I was just talking to a chick on Facebook, and this chick is funny. It's in fact, what I might do, it's funny hearing some of the stuff she says because she's just so ignorant. But I will tell you this: she definitely knew what red pill was, and she definitely knew what MGTOW was. Because as soon as she started getting not getting upset, but I started hitting her with certain facts. She was talking about, oh well, that's that red pill stuff. And I said, lady, this shit with the shit that I'm telling you, I can show you books in the early 1900s that were written by people that predate. Red pill is only like a 10-year-old thing, really. So already telling me a lot about you. The fact that, like, for instance, talking about single motherhood is not red pill. Like, what are you talking about? There's certain things that completely predate red pill. And so it's like, so now red pill has become, every time you females are getting in your feelings, now red pill is the problem. It was funny because the beginning of the conversation, and this conversation started from a post to where this dude really went, like, he was a black dude pro Trump in this group. And he really, basically said how he feels. And then they're going to put his, like, dude was trying to shame this dude by putting his name out there, which he didn't give a fuck. And it was funny because one dude said, oh, maybe he didn't mean what he said. I said, no, he meant exactly what he said. And then the other dude was like, stupid is and stupid does. Once he realized that, I said, a lot of things is not wrong. I may not have said it that same way, but a lot of what he's saying is not wrong. And see, the problem with black people is we simultaneously act like we're the realest folks, yet we are in fear of hard conversations. And that's how that started. And then one person I have to reply to, dark skin chick, she gonna sit there and put, oh, well, what it is black men, they just don't want to be with this. And I'm like, if black men didn't want to be with you, black men would have been bounced. There's nothing keeping black men. There's nothing from keeping black men from hopping the fence. The only thing, like shame and all that bullshit, dudes still got to choose to do that. And so this idea, and the shit, it was funny because I wasn't arguing with her because I don't do that on Facebook. I was asking her objective questions. Right. In fact, I might show y'all just so y'all know I ain't fucking around. I was asking her standard objective questions. And, she was just giving me bullshit. She was saying, oh, well, black men don't want to be with us. No, this is the question. I asked her, I said, so are you telling me that black women and non-black women are the same? And she literally said yes. She said, well, our life experiences are different, but we are the same. I said, yo, other black women don't even say that bullshit. I said, what are you talking about? Shout out to Raymond Woman. What's up, Raymond Woman? What's up, Gold Professor? In fact, I'm gonna share this shit because because we're gonna go through the I want to go through. I was gonna bring somebody on, but I really don't want to be on here forever because before you know it, it's gonna be late. Let me see. Share screen, Chrome tab. And sometimes I'm in these groups for prospecting purposes. So don't be like, nigga, why you in this group? So keep that in mind. I don't want to hear you niggas about why I'm in a particular fucking group. What kills me is sometimes this shit takes forever. We'll see, Kobe. Oh yeah, man, Jessica, and that's one thing about Jessica Light. Is Jessica Light represents like a certain type of demographic. Yeah, this shit takes like that's the thing about doing this on the tablet. It's kind of like pushing it. Go ahead, do that. I'm gonna have to let that go. I'm gonna have to let that slide. But yeah, and what basically I may do something where I post the screenshots, but it was funny. Oh, they're the same. They just had different life experiences. And I said, well, black women don't even believe that. Most black feminists are not even going to say that shit. Like, do you understand how stupid that is? So you telling me African American women are the exact same as white women, are the exact same as Asian women? Where the fuck do you get that from? And then she started all of a sudden, oh, well, you probably red pill. You're going to comment single motherhood. I said single feminism fucked up the black family. I said that's a opinion. That's a factual statement that can be showed in charts. It can be showed in when laws got passed. What are you talking about? And I said everything you, and then I said, okay, so is the black community a patriarchy? So she was smart enough to say, not now. Okay, so when has the black community ever been a patriarchy? And I was being nice about it. I said, enlighten me. And then she said, well, not since the black community did traditional roles. And I'm like, what does that mean? Traditional roles? Like, what specifically are you talking about? Because she want to make shit broad. And I'm sitting here, doing what I do. I'm giving her like not like whole paragraphs, but like very thorough statements, back up everything I'm saying. And then she said, well, black men, let's see if I can pull it up. I'm about to pull that shit up. Because I want y'all to see this shit. And I mean, this is typical YouTube fuckery. It's just, YouTube is an echo chamber. So I'm not surprised at the least. All right. So for those who don't know, yes, Alan is my first name. Edward is actually a middle name. So just to give y'all understanding, this is the main statement. Let me see if y'all can see it. Yeah, that's the main statement that got these motherfuckers in their feelings. So commented, and this is and by the way, this is him trying to make dude look bad because this said it went against Facebook. So basically, the owner of the group basically got was supposed to be Black Wall Street Group. He didn't make it hate speech. It just came to him like that because and then this is what's been called hate speech. This is what this dude got that was called hate speech. Nikki Wave, so I guess he put it so as long as white, Latinas, and African women are still on the planet. Now keep in mind, he put women in here. So as far as anybody trying to say he don't like black women, he put African along with white Latina. I didn't even notice that thing because I wasn't sweating what he was saying. Are still on the planet, black American women. So he put specifically black American women are irrelevant. Now, people can say that's harsh, but I understand where he was going with that. And he just used words irrelevant. There's hate speech there. Absolutely a curse and detriment to masculine, open-minded, successful black men. Again, Where is the hate speech here? Black women belong and are only wanted by thug, criminal-minded Pookie and Ray Ray, bottom-feeding, bottom-shower. Okay, it's an asshole statement, but where is the hate speech? He didn't wish harm on black women. He just said that there's no hate speech there. There's no trigger words that should be in hate speech. This dude actually knows how to spell. And there's a lot of truth to what he's saying. Now, so that's where the statement came in, just to let you know. Now, this isn't the only statement I was making. I was making a couple. I said in this group, so what does this prove really? Let's say all hetero black men believe this. There's a reason why in this group I got to make sure I say hetero. Black men believe this. What does that prove? Is all black men hate all black women? Because dude even said he went back and forth with shielding his name or not. He decided to post it because I guess he wanted him to stand on what he said, which this dude don't give a fuck. If so, does that mean black women are perfect angels, and heterosexual black men are evil? I'm trying to understand what's going on here. So basically, we start up, and then this chick replied to me. Which another female liked it, loved it. I believe that for black women, it will cause us to see the reality that black men really aren't into us, and that we need to rethink some things about how we view dating and relationships and family. I'm not saying anyone is perfect, but I don't want to be chasing one that doesn't want me. Trying to make this short. Okay, so I'm not even going to show her profile picture because that's not right. It's really not. Although you all would probably shut her down just on that. But I want you all to understand the thing to get out of that statement is she starts it off from black women are victims, meaning in her mind, black women are basically wanting black men, wanting families, wanting relationships, and it's black men that are just not reciprocating. This is how she starts the conversation. And this is what most black women believe, because most black women have never actually asked the hard questions. This is why, for everybody that has a fucking problem with Kevin Samuels, why I see value in that show. Because that, when you take all the I hate black women out of it, and black women call, you are seeing that even if you talk about being together, what they really think. And so it puts a face on it that makes it harder to deny in social media. What they think. She said, like, and see what she's really talking about is black men don't validate my ego. And the black female ego is a lot larger than what most black women try to act like it is. It's really unvalidatable, not from black men. Notice how none of this really addresses the original comment. So I basically said in response, question for you. Black men tolerate more from our women than any other men do from their women. Doesn't matter why. Do you believe that's a true statement? She said, no. And she said this quickly. No, I don't. There's a perception that we are different when we actually are the same. Some of these comments, I didn't even read them all because of the bullshit. So some of these, I'm reading them all for the first time. I just scanned them enough because, I can predict the bullshit. We are the same as far as personalities. We only differ in experience. life experience, in my opinion. Black men don't tolerate anything from black women. They go elsewhere. Okay, first of all, that's actually not true. Because if that was true, that's true. And I come back to the Zillennial card, but that's actually not true. Second of all, is there are 4 personality types. There's actually 16, but you can dump them down into mainly 4. You have the logical, and then we all are a summation of all of them, but you have the logical personality type, which you call the owl. You have the leader personality type, which you call is like the lion. This is sometimes what people try to perceive as alphas, and they usually are, but that doesn't mean that they're like, at that level yet. You have the koala, who's the care giver person. That these are people that like to say they empath or they empathize with others. And then you have the party, they call it the monkey personality type, which is a personality type. These are your like extroverts. Now, most of us are a summation of all of some of these, have a little bit of all, but see, there may be one or dominant. Like for me, I am a owl and a lion. And I'm probably, if I had to admit it, I'm probably more 60% owl. I'm 60% owl. I'm almost 50-50 because it just depends. But I'm definitely, but definitely the monkey part of me is probably a minority. And if I had to rank them, I would say I'm lion, koala. I'm mostly lion and owl with a little bit of koala because I'm more carrying on part. I'm more introverted. I can be extroverted. This is where the talking a lot is, but I am actually more introverted. Now I have no problem switching back and forth with it because of the nature of what I do, but it is what it is. Let's see. Can you see it fine? Press 1 if you all can see it well. Woman says something interesting. Rainy, and I'm not going to beat you up. Rainy Woman says, where there are some black men who will tolerate and accept negative behaviors from non-black women that they wouldn't do for black women. So, Rainy Woman, I'm gonna say this because that's actually that could be a whole video. That actually could be a great breakdown. The breakdown title. Let me tell you, the truth is, and I've said this statement before. Black men do not expect any more from black women than they expect from non-black women. So for instance, you're not going to see a black man that dates a fat white woman or a fat Latin woman that a woman's got to be in shape. I haven't met a black man like that. Also, culturally, if you date black also culturally, it's not, but black, you don't see black men that are more willing to deal with a mouthy white woman than they are a mouthy black woman. And by the way, a mouthy white woman is very different. Well, I won't say is different than a mouthy black woman. Mouthy white women are more passive aggressive. They're more with their shit. So it comes at you differently. And if you're a black man, we're used to your women blitzing you all the time. Playing a zone doesn't bother you. And it has its own trappings in anyway, because black men don't have the eye to really, they don't see the threat level in passive aggression. So usually they get hemmed up a little bit easier with a zone defense because they're used to being blitzed all day. Now, I'd say Latins are probably more just as mouthy. If you had to rank women, I would say black women are most mouthy as far as like the flagrant they are. I would say Latins can be. I would actually put Jewish women up there as well. A lot of people don't know the Jewish community is actually a matriarchy. A lot of people don't realize, we don't see, because we don't talk about the Jewish community like that, because obviously, the Jewish black, like, actually it's not that much different between if black feminists and intersectionality people were actually serious and they were looking at how could they create like a scenario that actually could work with how they are, Jewish women would probably be the perfect model. But if you notice the difference between Jewish women and black women is Jewish women understand that their shit, they can't have their shit if their men are not great. So their men will always their boys will always get precedent because they see their boys as men as an insurance policy for the group. They understand that, where our women don't. And the fact that I've never really heard a woman actually articulate that tells me a lot of this is on some kid shit. Now I know Rainy Woman is not a feminist. But I'm saying a lot of this is on some I want to compete for white zaddy's attention shit. It's not really thought out. And this is how you know that it's more of a mechanism for control, more so than it actually is an actual thought process or school of thought that these women have. This is why I always say that nobody is taking more from the black woman than the white woman, and nobody's up to ask more of the black woman, of the white woman than the black woman at the same time, which is interesting. Yes, I know it's a huge difference. I'm just saying this with a thing. So my point is, and the thing about Latins is usually when Latins wild out, usually they have a reason. But let me be very clear here. All women have fuckery. It's just a matter of it's like plays in football and basketball. They all have fuckery. You just gotta know how to deal with it. Shout out to Donovan Sharp, who basically has a video. Go to his channel. It's 13 minutes that talks about all of the negatives of black men dating white women. And this is things he's said before. Anyway, so you all can see it. But yeah, but as far as what Rainy Woman said, I mean, look, you can have your opinion. I don't agree with that. I'm curious to what BGS would say. I would actually go to opposite Rainy Woman, and I would tell you that black men, actually, we tolerate less other races of women. And I'm telling you, BGS would agree with this. I'm very sure he would. We tolerate a lot less from our women. We tolerate a lot less from other races of women than we do our women. We give our women so much more rope to do shit. When they do shit, we see our mothers doing it, so we give a lot of rope. When a non-black woman does it, we are much more likely to bounce. Much more like, and see, I black that perception, but that's actually not true. I know me personally, but I'm not every black man. I take a hell of a lot less shit than I do from sisters. And I think that's an actual perception that black women need to stop having, because that's also low key a perception that black women have as to justify that they're putting more up with our shit than we put up with their shit. Which, quite frankly, you can't even quantify the type of shit we put up from black women compared to what black women put up from black men. At the end of the day, a lot of the shit that black women put up with black men, there is always a caveat to why they're putting up with it. Putting up with a black man's shit because it's good dick is not that's a choice. Just like when, let me give you in reverse. When black men put up with black women's shit because crap pussy is good pussy, that's a choice. That doesn't count. Offset and Cardi B, that's a choice. With both of them. Because Cardi B's good for Offset's career, even though she got some ugly titties. Even though, boy, that picture, they should not let that picture get out. That picture, man, she got some ugly ass titties. There can't be no light-skinned bitch with no ugly titties, man. Anyway, exactly, El Grande. And that's why the pictures you're doing, the video, so important, because I don't expect you to truly understand this, but a lot of black men ain't never. It's very rare, man. I don't think you really how serious it is out here. Anyway, let's go back through the thing. So basically, and I said this, I made her repeat it. So you're gonna tell me, just to be clear, the ADOS black women as a group are the same as other races of women in the United States related to how they interact with their men. I didn't even know. I didn't even read the original comment as far as what the dude wrote. So I didn't realize how close I was hitting home with that. Men. And then I said, black men marry black women at 85%. What are you talking about? Then she said, actually, that's not accurate. Out of 100% of men, half are married. See, That's bad bullshit. That's bullshit. Because 85%, that statistic, you're only talking about black men that are married. So 85% of black men that are married to black women. That is what they, not no 85% of all men. Now, see, I didn't catch that then. And she said, but hold on, she said that's not accurate. And 85% are roughly married to blah, blah, blah. Actually, that's not accurate. Out of 100% of men, only about half are married, which is a lot, which is not true. Only 33% of black are roughly married to black. So hold on. Not accurate. Out of 100% of men, only about half are 85% are roughly married to black women. There's still half of y'all that aren't married at all. Okay, so what the fuck are you talking about? You agree with my statement. Now this is wanting to be right just to be right. In fact, her numbers are higher than what it is. No. Only 33% of black men that are married, and it's about 31 and dropping percent of black women that are married. So we're basically married the same. We only got them by a couple of points, which means you can't say that be married more than men. Other than that, I say it's equal at this point. Then I said 80% of the divorces are activated by the women. So the men are not activating these divorces. And let's stop acting like men don't have a reason to leave these chicks as much as these chicks leave them. So again, and of course, we're going to come in here and show her love. And Latricia said, and then she said, as I said, our life experiences are different, but personalities are not similar even amongst people. That is such bullshit. Like the fact that she believes that tells me everything I need to know about her. Basically act the same, which is funny because she's the one that's going to bring in this red pill shit. And I told her, I said, well, if you're going to talk about red pill talks about female nature. Red pill doesn't necessarily, the mainstream red pill does not address the shit that I'm talking about. Mainstream red pill is not really dealing with the black gynocracy. So the shit she's talking about, saying that all women are the same, is basically saying all women have baseline female nature, but then she's going to have a problem with red pill. And that's what red pill pretty much preaches. Not necessarily that women are culturally different. And then she said it's perceived that black women are more difficult, but as we see by visibility of Karens as an example, LOL, they act out too. Okay, well, you don't have to be a white woman doesn't have to be a Karen to act out. Those are racist bitches. And let's be clear here. That's a completely different dynamic. And women are not known to be all Karens. A lot of black women are known to have that attitude. You even see it with Kamala, and Kamala's mixed. You see it with a lot of mixed chicks. You can tell if they're acting a certain type of way culturally. Again, Donovan Sharp talked about this. In America, there's really two archetypes that everybody falls under. There's the black woman archetype, which we're going to call like the urban, shout out to Mr. Research, the urban woman mindset, which has nothing to do with race, but culture type. This is why you have women girl and a lot of your lower grade white women or your ace of spade white women that tend to, there's degrees to that, but some of them that tend to act more black, even though there's degrees to that now. Of being still liking black men doesn't mean you act like a black woman. That usually is not always the case. But Hispanic women are like that. These are the Hispanic women that use nigga a lot. Then, because that's that culture part they're trying to adopt into on the low, or at least benefit from. And then you have the white, like what's her name? I forget. It's a difference. And it's usually split down the middle. So, yeah. But anyway, back to what I was saying. You have to also, and then blah blah. You have to also acknowledge that black men, and see, basically what she's trying to say is because there's some white women that do it too. She basically say all women are the same, so therefore there's no accountability. But see, all women are not getting the same results. But see, then she's gonna say colorism. So basically, this is how women justify that all women are the same. is because they say, well, it's really about color because all women personality is the same. That's not even true for black women. Black women, the truth is, reigning woman is not the same as like what I can tell by how she responds when somebody starts like getting hyped up in a conversation, how she kind of, like fall in. Somebody's like, oh shit, okay, well, she's falling back. So okay, let me dial it down. Like, let me dial it down in the heat because she's like, all right, like, okay. Most black women don't do that. They meet you and go higher. Even amongst black women, you have, shout out to you have the savage, which is what Cardi B kind of represents. What a lot of black women try to act like they are in hip hop. It literally the savage. You have the Valley Girl, which is like pretty much like Karazin or Yvette Carnell. I mean, not Yvette Carnell, Irene Yvette. You have the Southern Belle. You have the Thought, which is not necessarily like the savage. I figured the Jezebel. The Jezebel and the savage is open about how they get down. The Jezebel kind of plays both sides. So even personality types, those difference amongst ADOS black women and we black women. So the fact that she says, I mean, she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. And the same thing when it comes to Karens and different white girls degrees. There's a difference between a white girl, a true ace of spades white girl, and then one that's kind of like dabbling a little bit in both. Those are different things. Then she said, hold on. And then I said, oh, one must account for the 20% of black men tend to chase, black women tend to chase who have options versus all black men to get tagged with the you're not attracted card. Then she says that's a fallacy and red pill logic. Every woman didn't pick a gangbanger or a dope boy, so women were lied to. Some women were lied. Well, first of all, some women would indicate less than half. It would indicate more like in the 30% range, could be as low as 22%. Because if you get towards 40% or past that, you're going to say half. The truth is, I didn't say gangbanger. And see, that says a lot because number one, I have yet to use the terminology Pookie and Ray Ray. I have yet to use the terminology street dudes. I have not used that in this thread. Yet she introduced gangbanger and street dude. So for her, when I say top 20% of black men, that is what she registers in her mind as what that is. And I'm going back through this. I was actually doing it in a moment. I was like in my car chilling while I was waiting for them. So I wasn't even going back through this whole thread. Some of these are like the first time I really read them from top to bottom. So gangbanger. Second of all, she plays this lie to card. To her, she said, I'll give her the fact she said some, but see the way they make it sound like every woman was lied to. The truth is, it's not being, nobody can lie to you more than you can lie to yourself. And the truth is, a lot of these women self-delude themselves, and then they say the dude lied to them because they choose to, for different reasons. And then when a relationship goes bad, and dude could be a fuckboy, now they want to say they were lied to. You're starting to find this out with the Tory Lanez situation. So you're starting to find out that fucking Jay-Z and Rock Nation told Tory Lanez to shut up. So then they basically went and tried to put propaganda on him. And then you're talking about the fact it's coming out that it's starting to come out, allude to that he was in some kind of triangle with Kelsey and Megan Thee Stallion, Kelsey another bitch, right? And so, but Megan got mad because of Kylie Jenner. So what you seeing is this is all this emotional bullshit combined with a bitch that's bigger than average bear, average chick that thinks she can hit a dude. And so it's not a dude just went off on some thuggo shit. But see, that's how she tried to frame the shit. Because she did. Shout out to Jada Black for covering that and Solo TV 84 for covering that. As well as O'Shea for covering that shit. I should do this more often. Lucis. And by the way, I'm only talking about black, American black women. She didn't understand what I was saying. That's all I know. I do believe culture can be an additional item added to be considered. Okay, so that's all you know. That's not all I know. So, I mean, you're speaking from blah, blah, blah. I said, so let me ask, is the black community? And then I said, by the way, most black women don't even believe what you said. You don't have to be red pill to know that. White women are not the same. Asians are not the same as Latins, as Asian. Then she says, not now. It was at some point, is no longer. We aren't anything right now. And I said, oh, yes, we are something. And then as female nature, but that's when I said that. Perhaps they do. You don't know most black women. You only know who you know. Okay, think about that statement. I don't know most black women. I only know who I know. Okay, me and nor any expert on anything ever. And see, this is code for wanting to find the exceptions to the rule and make the rule to make your feelings feel better. Let me see. Is this is scrolling down so you can see it, right? So this is her trying to make anything mean everything and everything mean anything, so everything means nothing. The truth is, and I told her that, I said, this is what data's for. I don't need to know every black woman to know the data, because the data is the data if I trust the data is right. And you can use anecdotal evidence as a way to inform you, but you can also use data to see if it matches up. And you compare it with other data and other people's experiences. But see, this red pill thing to a lot of black women is prime rape. Basically what they're doing is, and it's interesting I'm doing this, because if I go through the Ice Cube thing, you're going to see, how this shit matches up visually. I don't know this shit. This is some random chicken random group. That's why it's red pill damaged male logic. That's why they are MGTOW. See, to her, she's using words. First of all, red pill is about awareness. MGTOW is more what you're going to do. And then with that awareness. Also, I told her all the dudes in real life that are dating non-black women, like the dudes, because by the way, I gave her a bone. I said, well, the zillennials, yes, they're leaving. The later millennials are leaving. But the early millennials and Gen Xers didn't do that. So I gave her that. But then I come back and then I said, okay, well, all the Gen Xers and all the millennials, they're not red pill. You don't have to be red pill to date out. That's been something women been complaining about for a long time. You don't have, like, you're not, and obviously you're clearly not going your own, still date women, and you just don't date black women. That's not what going your own way is. SYSBM is not MGTOW. SYSBM is basically don't feel race loyalty to choose best mates. But see, she doesn't understand that. So for her, this is just another way for her to try to say that you're somebody. She's trying to say what I'm saying is signs of a loser. I'm asking her basic questions, and you notice how she's not really answering anything. When men, and then I asked her, so not now, fair enough. Using Obsidian's reference. So when can you very roughly tell me when the black community was a patriarchy? You don't have to be too specific. We are just talking. Give me a range, like before a year or a date or something. In the United States, by the way. Then she doesn't do that. What she does is she says, when men believed in more traditional roles was when we were more patriarchal. Once that changed, everything in our family changed. Now, this motherfucker has the nerve. Now, keep in mind, you know she knows what feminism is. You know she knows what that is. The nerve to say that basically men were the ones that said, fuck it. And then the women just had to feed in. And see, these are women that will actually tell you they're not feminists. This is a woman that if I asked her, I said, if you're a feminist, she would say no. And I just had another one I taught her to say that. I'm like, yo, and I said, you can't not be a feminist and believe that. Just because you don't proudly wear the car, that's like being gay but being on the down low. You still gay? Or that's like, no, I date the female. No, you're still gay. Just because you don't wear it, don't proudly, that's not true. And then hold on, I'm sure you are ready to go towards that feminist idea as to why the black family's dynamic changed more red pill logic. Which she's never explained what's wrong with red pill logic. She tries to say red pill logic as this euphemism for everything she doesn't like. But I didn't even get to the point to explain what is your issue with red pill. Because by definition, me doing that would be me kind of admitting that's what which I'm not bringing that into this conversation. She's the one that brought it in. And then I said, well, if you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. So anyway, I then say, oh, how do men not believe in traditional world? What are you talking about? Blah, blah, blah. I said that first, and she said, this bullshit. Oh yeah, that's when I asked that. And then she said, oh yeah, so I said, how do men not how do men not believe in traditional roles? What are you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? What roles and traditions that black men are rebelling against? Now, she says men want traditional roles and submission from women without doing the work. Does that sound like some Lonnie Love bullshit? Angry bullshit. That and see, the thing about it is, I would have more respect for her if she would say that she don't want to submit. But see, black women always got to play games. They don't want to admit what it really is. They just want to pretend like, oh, I would do this if you did that. And this is how you know they know what they're doing when they start lying about that, because they know that's not true. They know that's not true. And see, this is why you got to talk about it, because these dudes will go along with it. Anyway, men want traditional roles and submission from women without doing the work. And she can't point to. She can't point to. I bet. And see, what I should have asked her is, you show me one black man that advocates for that shit in the black community. You show me where black men that are quote unquote red pill say that shit. You can't find that shit. Ramil is probably the closest you get. And even Ramil ain't gonna tell you to just follow any nigga for anything. Traditional men were protectors and providers. So she's trying to make it sound traditional, like men today aren't doing that. And just because being protecting them, and this, which is its own thing. Because the way they are, don't get me started on that shit. This is what got them. So again, she's trying to say that black men did some shit and then black women decided not to submit. And see, this is bullshit. A submissive woman is not going to stop being submissive because a man doesn't do something. They are going to find a man, irregardless of race or culture, to do what a man does to get them to submit, because a woman being submissive is a woman being in her element. That is a woman being as close to happiness as she's generally going to get. When a woman is in a masculine state, that is like cortisol. That is like stress. That is not a state a woman that understands the feminine wants to be in. It's like saying, okay, you like your job. You have a 9-to-5, but you would prefer to control your time freedom and have passive income. So if one business fails, you generally will start another one to get passive income. You're not going to just go in a 9-to-5 and say, I'm just going to have a 9-to-5, especially if you've gotten passive income before. Like, let's say you make $10,000 a month and a business fails. You're not going to say, okay, well, I'm done with that passive income now. I'm going to go get a job and have a career. You may have to do that temporarily, but you're going to look to get out of that state, because that's making you do things you don't want to do. That's how femininity is. In my opinion, obviously I'm a dude, but that's how femininity is. That's a state of being. This is why women have to trust they do to be in their feminine. This is where the I don't feel protected comes from. Or I can't have sex with a woman can't have sex with a dude without feeling protected in their female element. I can tell you she doesn't even fucking understand that based on what she's saying. She just answer. So she said many men these days plainly state they ain't providing and that they for sure ain't protecting. First of all, that's media. Most men are not going to say out loud that they're not protecting. As far as the providing shit, the closest they get to that is saying, what do you bring to the table? Also, really means, providing ain't bailing you out of your college debt. Providing, that's not what providing means. And see, the problem is her idea is providing is basically her being a child while she can still act grown. yet still demand to be in the traditional man. Now you can say that tells you everything about the type of women she's around. That tells you everything about her perception of the men around of the men that are around her. I can tell you just in that statement, most of the niggas she's around ain't shit. And that's not my problem, because that's her perception. And the problem is, too, and I say this in the next statement, I say, no, the problem is a lot of these dudes know you want to fuck them, and therefore they have no incentive to do shit, because they don't see you worth it anyway. The man by design is head of household. When he refuses the role, he then gets mad when a woman looks at him sideways. First of all, you make it is there to just walk into, and a man doesn't have to do like go through fucking world warrior shit to, like, she really is trying to make this shit sound like that black men just walked the fuck away and black women just had to do it. And but she's not a feminist. Let me see. Yeah, I went through a lot of shit with that. Okay, more red pill logic. You ask, I answer. I'm not gonna write paragraphs and say something simple. No, I mean, because you don't really have an answer. Because every time you try to have a conversation with men that think like you only get stats and more one way. Like, so my problem is getting stats. I didn't even see this. I'm interested in a man, whatever color he is, that's a good fit for me. Oh, so if you're interested in a man of whatever color, then explain to me why you worried about who black men date then. Also, if you're interested in a man, no matter, because I didn't see that, of what color, then, which I'm cool with, by the way, as far as black women dating now, where the fuck your man at? Because the way you keep saying it is like black men are your only option. Because that you complain. And then I also asked her, she's interested in black men of other colors. So you really trying to tell me all men are the same? Is that what you're going to sit there and say? You're going to sit there and now? She said, I just know they're talking points and you're spot on. What talking points? So basically, anybody that tells her facts and logic that she doesn't like, she's just going to call that red pill. And my thing is, so you a red pill expert? Who the fuck have you talked to? You on Facebook. Furthermore, you're looking to make a certain point. I've heard it before and thought it was going to have a conversation with a person, not someone with an idea. I'm tired of those talk. So my thing is, you're tired of talking points. So this is code for you don't like that you can't disprove what's being said. So therefore, you don't want to talk about it, which again is why we don't ever have the motherfucking conversation. Because women see the way this is how women want to see it. Women want to try to act like, well, this is what she's essentially saying. There's something wrong with you if you don't just bow down to the bullshit that I'm selling. So you're using this thing called logic rather than just using your emotions. This is why people say things like your mama black and this like that, because they are eliciting emotions. And they understand that she understands enough about red pill to know that if you have been properly red pill, shit like that does not work. The problem is too many people have most likely told her shit that she can't refute. Notice how she never got back to win the black community patriarchy. And I always tell people, if you have to be properly trained to make these points, because if you're going to be in a family, if you're going to be in a situation where you're around women or friends, you do not want to go hardcore with them. You want to ask them very simple questions, and then what they're going to do when they realize they don't have the answers for them, they're gonna fucking either try to change the subject. So when you ask, when was the black community a patriarchy? The answer is it never was a patriarchy. Then the answer is a lot of the shit that you all talk about has no standing, because not with black men. The shit that you have to work, you have to basically demonstrate how black men have the same privileges as white men. And I in the day they actually said this. I've heard that said, like, you ask them, they actually will say it. They will say, and they know how stupid that sounds. And she's trying to say, I'm trying to make a certain point. No fucking duh. Asking her open, but see, here's the funny thing about that. I'm not asking her close-ended questions. I'm asking open-ended questions. It's not like, you know how people get mad at BGS when BGS will ask you, you can, like, these binary questions, and I know why he does it, but binary questions that will give you a logic stream that you have to follow. And if you answer anything that's outside that logic stream, you got to kind of justify your answer. And so if you can't justify your answer, this is when he says bullshit. See, I don't bullshit. See, I don't even do that. I ask you open-ended questions because it doesn't matter what you say. I can go with anything you say. Because I can say, okay, you said that. Let's go that route. So based on what you said, does this make sense? Like, can that make sense based on what you said? And how would they say? It's a different way of doing the same thing. And then basically, I've heard it before and thought I was gonna have a conversation with the person, someone with an idea. I'm tired of those talking points, and I'm ready to find a mate. She's ready to find a mate. Oh my fucking God. To find a mate. So you're ready to find a mate. But so why haven't you found one? Because if you're open to dating other races of men, what's stopping? I'm tired of folks that don't talk to each other but are pushing agendas to further break the black family and not build it. Guess what? See, that's that agenda division shit. So basically, just shut up and just take me as I am. Social issues and all. So she's going to make it sound like black women are not pushing an agenda. You see how, in her mind, black men are pushing the agenda. Or at the very least, they're pushing the same kind of as black men. This is why we can take a nigga like Ice Cube and then try to act like Ice Cube is like the fourth coming, even though he's just a dude with an opinion and a plan. Which, by at least he's hawking a plan. How many of these females have actually put a plan out there like that? They won't do that because what's going to happen is that plan is going to be very obvious that plan is bent. And not build it. Your talking points are harmful to black relationships. Let's read this again. Furthermore, you're looking to make a certain point. I've heard it before, and I thought I was going to have a conversation, not someone with an idea. I'm tired of those talking points, and I'm ready to find a mate. I'm tired of folks that don't talk to each other, always pushing agendas to further break the black family and not build it. Your talking points are harmful to black relationships. They solve nothing. I thought I was going to learn something from a man that would help me. I'm wrong. Number one, bitch, there is nothing in that comment thread that gave me an opinion that I was going to fucking help you. Like, did you see anything in the beginning of that conversation that had, she thought, oh, hey, sister, I'm going to educate you. I don't know where the fuck this is, because this is actually a new comment. I don't know where the fuck this is coming from. Help me. I'm wrong. I've heard all the points with I just now saw this with Kevin Samuels, Minister Jap, Alpha Male Strategies, all of them. That stuff is counterproductive to black relationships. All of it. Minister Jap is not. Let's keep it real. Here's the funny thing. Minister Jap is red pill, but he ain't red pill. Meaning Minister Jap is street niggas saying some real shit. Okay, but he would consider himself a red pill to a certain extent. Kevin is not red pill like that. Alpha Male Strategies. Here's the thing. See, it's funny. No, let me take that back. That's not true. That's not true. I was incorrect. All those three people she mentioned are damn sure not MGTOW. Minister Jap is not MGTOW at all. Alpha Male Strategies is not MGTOW at all. Kevin Samuels is not MGTOW at all. So did this not prove what I just said about did that not prove? And I'm sitting there doing this whiteboard while I'm talking about this, boy, getting some inspiration. Did that not prove what I just said? See, in her mind, in fact, let's do this before, because I'm probably not gonna pull that damn thing up just yet. Let's see what y'all got to say about it. Sorry, y'all. If y'all have super chat, I ain't been seeing it. I'm gonna give y'all like 30 minutes if y'all want to have a quick conversation about that. That way I can be done by like 9 o'clock. That's a funny shit. Yeah, what's up, Archer?
How's it going, Edward, man?
I didn't even get to the Ice Cube video. I'm probably gonna do that another day. What do you think of the little thread I did? I think I might make that a series.
Man, I think
Conversations with a bitch.
Man, hey, you should title it that too. Hey, no, for real though, I think you should put this under the conversation you had with her. Like, just put it down there. I mean, no, she ain't gonna watch it, but any brother that comes through and reads that
but I typically don't like the tag. I don't like the merge. There's a reason I created the Edward profile verse. It didn't merge it with my other. That is what it is. But it's funny. It's funny because that comment I didn't see till just now, and now all of that is lumped into the same boat. So it validates everything I said before as far as what she was thinking that was. So pretty much, if you notice, she probably listened to Kevin. Yeah. Kevin said what it was. See, you know what she said? She said, I want to find a mate. I want to find a man. I want a man to take me as I am. I said, people are not doing that no more. And the dude that's going to take you as you are is not protecting and providing like that.
Right. well, let me say this right quick, and I'm not going to eat up too much time on your panel, but this is one thing I've been noticing a lot with Black women when they talk about traditionalism. And I don't know what you call it, hyper or distorted view of traditionalism. It's where, and Angry Man said this before. Said there's a special set of rules for Black men that we have to do that other group of men don't have to do. See, she sat up there and said Black men want to be traditionalists. They want to be the leader, but they don't want to put in the work, implying that she has to work. She has to contribute to the family. She has to do anything, and the Black man is not taking care of all the responsibilities. Then she would turn around and flip and say, hey, well, other groups of men are traditional. Asian men are traditional. Hispanic men are more traditional, and that's why their women respect them. But yet, I can walk to the grocery store right now, walk to CVS, walk to any corner store, walk to a damn hospital, and I see all kinds of Asian, Hispanic, Arab, any group of women, they're working. And they're not there working just to be working. They're there working because they have to contribute to the family. But yet, as their women is out there working, contribute to the family, those groups of men still get the title of traditional.
Exactly.
While if a Black woman has to work, the man is no longer traditional because she has to work. It's this very hyper distorted view of traditionalism only put on Black men, where Black men have to abide by this rule where we have to be so much more than other groups of men are just to be labeled as traditional.
And the issue that she has is that Black men, the real issue she has is Black men are questioning that shit. And he has no answer for what they're saying. So she has no answer for what Kevin has been saying. Kevin, I'm not going to say he's not red pill, because Kevin does but Kevin is not MGTOW. Yeah. Okay. Minister Jap is not MGTOW. I mean, Kevin is anti-MGTOW. Minister Jap is anti-MGTOW. And Alpha Male Strategies is anti-MGTOW. They are not going your own way. And all three, one thing you can say about all three of them, even though they go about it differently, is they are all three about men getting what they earn and being unapologetic about demanding it, what they earn. Because, and they bring that to I keep saying, Red Pill is being aware. MGTOW and some of this other schools of thought too, that's what you do with that awareness. The difference.
One thing Kevin has shown is that BGS said this: black women, there's something called the carrot and the stick, and black women just believe in the stick. They don't understand the concept of the carrot. So even when you can listen to Kevin Samuel's show and listen to him, the way these women get up there and think they're entitled to a high value man, or they don't have to change for a high
Yeah, and I'm
value man.
keeping it small, y'all. I'm Archer and Nameless unless BGS pops up or something like that, because I'm about to go on this
Yeah,
and I don't want this to be forever. I know you said you was gonna hop off, so that's cool, Archer. If you want to do that,
yeah, I'm about to hop off, bro. I'm not gonna
yeah,
do
and
this
then
long.
so but yeah, no, absolutely. And the thing about it is, I told her, I said, you gotta understand, man. All these younger dudes and these dudes, they don't all have to come up here to do that shit. Dennis Sperling's a perfect example of that. These motherfuckers, all we're doing is giving voice to what people are already low key doing. And see, they don't want to hear that because now they realize they have no change. And as BGS said, this is who they are. They're not going to change. They're just going to keep on doing the same shit until it's like being a Windows 10 or whatever. They're like, no, we only do the Windows 93 shit or Vista. And we're not doing nothing but Vista. I know you hate Vista, but that we doing. Okay, well then fuck it. I mean, I'm getting something else.
And when they sit up there, she sit up there and call you an incel or call you a red pill. Imagine a whole group of women who are all united in saying, I'm ready for a relationship, but yet none of them can find a relationship.
Yeah, and she didn't call me incel, but she did say MGTOW red pill.
Well, if she could, she would have. But we're talking about, if we talk about incels, we're looking at a whole generation of women who are, they may be able to get sex, but they are incapable of getting their relationship, and they refuse to accept the reasons why. If they were to give any advice to an incel, the first thing they would tell the incel is to change. But they will not take that same advice for themselves because they fundamentally believe that there is absolutely nothing wrong with them and everybody else is the problem.
And that's a delusion. The reason why I put this out here and I want to get nameless, what you think is I mean, this is just a random chick. I don't know chick. I was just in a group and then dude posted this and I made some, not with, I didn't expect nobody to reply necessarily. And then it's been a couple of people that love the comments. So obviously they agree with everything she's saying. And it's funny because it's comment. It's hard to say that when you got to have a real conversation with somebody. That's why I don't like getting on these panels, regardless if they don't cam up or not. Because if they got to say shit in real time, you find they're ignorant to this. And I'm not expecting them to know as deeply as it is I do, but they can she ended that shit. Oh, what a man. This is not helping black races. And this is why these niggas are coming with that division shit. The reality is what these dudes, what people want is for black men to shut up and just pretend everything's okay. That's really what they want. And they're getting angrier as they're realizing that's really not gonna happen. Don't win again. Trump win again. Motherfuckers are gonna be on suicide watch. But what's up, Nameless? What do you think?
Yeah, salute, fam. We talked about this earlier. I mean, this goes back to them getting mad at anything or any time they say this is bad for the black family. You need to remember that in the back of their mind, the family unit is the mother and the child. That is the quintessential building block of the gynocracy. And what they're saying ultimately then as a result of that is this is not good for the gynocracy for these men to be having these thoughts. And remember, they've taken this idea of traditionalism as a synonym for patriarchy, which is a synonym for white supremacy. Because intersectionalism has gone on and hijacked that entire conversation. So if you support any of these traditionalist ideas, which are fluid in nature because they're free to hold you responsible to the contract, which goes back to why we need to have this conversation about the social contract. They have liberated themselves using intersectional feminism as a whole, but intersectional feminism in particular, with illustrations of what this looks like via the propaganda that's been put forward and reinforcement via the talk shows that have taken place all throughout the late 80s and early 90s to create this idea of this is when you're going to be held accountable as a man for the social contract that she opted out of. And even if you're not getting anything from that, at the end of the day, she treats it as though she's rewarding you for cooperating with you.
And in layman's terms, for people that want to play like they're slow, black women have been going their own way for decades under your noses. And the last generation of men, for some reason, they let that shit slide. I'm not going to play the old nigga game. they not gonna act like they didn't see the shit. They had just had, I guess, better things to do, or they thought these women they didn't see the seriousness of it. And now that you see these other generations are pretty much saying, okay, if this is what you offering, then fuck it, I'm done, I'm out. Now they got a problem because now they see first of all, millennials got rid of the stepdaddy gang. Now these millennials are just wholesale leaving. That's the difference. And now that's a problem because with the stepdaddy game, you can still play. It don't matter. You can just lean on the state more and double down on that and make up and try to make that difference up. You can't make that difference up if dudes are just not fucking with you like that. Yeah.
The issue at the end of the day is I really think it goes back down to conditioning, because we grew up thinking this is what Black culture means. So we don't even have these coordinates entered in on the radar as being hostile. So if you let the average person soar through the Black community, they don't even know something's wrong.
And when you tell them something, yeah, exactly. And when you tell them something's wrong, they look at you like you're stupid. And see, this is the fun. So what Jenny Mai was talking about when she said about being submissive, if you actually listen to what she said, that is not her advocating for patriarchy.
Nope.
It's her advocating for egalitarianism, basically cooperation.
Yep.
Basically, you know, I know I have a vote. I can leave. I'm choosing to be here. We're in this together. I'm going to let him do his role because I know if I need to make course corrections, it ain't like this dude's going to slam the door in my face. And if I need to co-pilot a little bit, he'll at least let me co-pilot a little bit rather than kicking me out of the pilot room.
You know what
I already
that is?
know that. So I have nothing to worry about. So why would I sit there and fly the plane when the plane is on auto control anyway and let me be me? That's all she was saying. Yeah.
That ends up being what you said earlier about the Jewish community. That's a model of matriarchy, not so much working as a gynocracy, but as a matriarchy is intended to be. They have effectively created Wakanda in a Jewish sense, if that makes sense. Because they can occupy a virtual space,
and even that can only operate in certain zones. Because even though Israelis try that shit, Israeli men don't tolerate that shit. They can't pull that shit in Israel.
Right.
And even though Israeli women are actually more wired in many ways. Israeli women can give Black women a run for their fucking money. And I've heard this from Israeli men. That's paid, that's got all their shit covered. But what my point is, that they don't try it. It's that's I'm not gonna say it's unique to America, but it's unique to the West because they can duplicate it all over the West. But you're right. Go ahead.
I'm just saying the model's similar in that they have a place of origin in a continent that has a cultural continuity that is a basis of power, much like we have Africa. Potentially
absolutely.
And then they have a whole diaspora community where they're able to aggregate resources and power and create a cycle of power. The same thing. They basically did exactly what Marcus Garvey said we should be doing.
Yeah, I got you, Kobe. I'm like I said, I told you I wanted to keep this small because when I get to this thing, I don't want to take forever because I may go through 10 minutes of this depending on where the fuckery starts. No, absolutely. And the difference, there's two differences. One is Jewish people were willing to integrate with white, which is something Black people were not willing to do, and Black women weren't willing to get under their men because of the culture of slavery. You know, they weren't willing because Holocaust happened for a certain amount of time, like 10 years, or so, like not even a full-blown Holocaust, but leading up to it, slavery happened for a lot longer, so that imprint is a lot stronger.
Yep.
Oh, that's the two big things, the two big differences. And when you see, we don't talk about Jewish people like that because it's not, you can't do it without getting tagged or something like that.
Well, that's what the term Ashkenazi even means. It's recognition through the mother. In the video I did, I don't know if you've seen it yet. The one I talked about how we got here, I described how this word slave only applied when you were born through a mother who was also having that classification. So when you talk about the tradition of slavery and how it plays into this paradigm and what created a gynocracy versus a matriarchy with the Jews, I think that's an excellent comparison. This almost sounds like we're explaining how to fix your gynocracy, right?
Yeah, well, the problem, what it shows is it shows that this idea. See, when she said in this in that thread, when she was trying to talk like, oh, your ideas, your logic, you're this, as if I have never considered the other side at all. Like, I only own no one way. And the truth is, she was projecting. It's
Yep.
her that can't see what I'm talking about at all, to the point where it's like talking to a 2D character about 3 dimensions. I know her dimension. And this is what BGS was talking about, where most of these women don't even read their own literature. He said you should read it because they don't read it. And most white women don't read their own literature as far as the feminism. So I know the black women don't do it. So so the point is, you know, that was projecting, and it was an interesting exercise because I'm not on Facebook all day doing that shit, and it's like a particular group. Although it's about business, and I can get some people in there. The truth is, it's a very gynocentric group.
What you can do is blot the names out and the pictures, and just present it as, you know, just give them.
Oh no, I don't give a fuck about. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I'm talking about as far as arguing with these people in there, because I bet more productive conversations. But this is the point: is that's a group that has a lot of black women in it, and the thing about it is, like, this is why I really want Trump. I want Trump to win, because if Trump wins again, people are going to panic, because they are going to realize this is only going to get worse, because they're not going to put up another Trump. They're going to have a better candidate ready in a couple of years. And the reality is, I don't feel like people are going to see it as the same reset as, oh, well, we're just going Democrat just because. They're not going to see that. And another thing, too, is the Democrats are going to have to realize we can't just keep throwing a woman out there or throwing women out there just because. Because eventually, because if they have a better candidate, that might not necessarily work unless you have actually a good candidate. But look at this. I'm gonna play. Kobe, I got you, but Kobe, like I said, I wasn't trying to make this too long. This shit's already out 16 minutes, and I mean that. So I'm about to play this video real quick. We're gonna go through, let's see, 10 minutes, and we're gonna see what goes on.
Please, everybody, welcome.
Now I got this on 1.5.
Hey, what's up? How y'all doing?
Hey, you.
Yo, what's up?
So let's get the elephant out of the room. Like, Lisa Ray, you a Chicagoan and you represent light-skinned people. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you with that hairstyle. Like, are you serious?
I don't know. This is
in a negative way.
Want to do
that. Claudia Jordan is actually mixed. Her mother is white. So a lot of people don't know that because of her skin tone. So keep that in mind when she be trying to act like she ain't ever been around white people when it comes to Trump and shit. Even though, because she threw that shit at Trump, even though he had her on The Apprentice. And then as far as Trump don't know how to deal with black women, well, if Trump really want to be an asshole to Claudia Jordan, he would just offer Omarosa, you know, some shit, and Omarosa will beat her up verbally. And Claudia really ain't trying to deal with somebody like Omarosa, because Omarosa is like the black female version. She really gives no fucks. A lot of people don't know. Vivica, I want people to pay attention to how Vivica rocks. Now, I haven't seen the beginning. I've seen this in clips. So this is just going to be me. Now, I may pause at any given time, but it is what it is. So let's go.
What's up, Lisa Ray? How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you.
Good. How's everybody doing?
Bless.
So notice he being nice like the Thanksgiving start. So it ain't like he coming off the gate being an asshole. I just want people to think about that. And yes, I got the thing shitty so it plays.
Good.
Oh, my bad. I got a new sub. Super chat ain't even read his shit. Double time 49. What's good, Ed? New sub. On that panel with Ice Cube, they were only concerned about what it would help them and not the community. Exactly. And that's one thing that showed a lot of people. And to be fair, a lot of the comments, it was like 3,000. And I can tell you, black women were like 80% supportive of Ice Cube. You know, so even though you got a lot of these females that are operatives, or at least acting like pseudo operatives, a lot of women is giving Ice Cube the benefit of the doubt because they see who he's with and all of that. So I'm not gonna not say that, you know, but that group wasn't one of them. But let's go.
And we're also very appreciative of you taking to come talk to us here. I know everyone's trying to get a piece of you and talk to you and have you on their platform. So we definitely appreciate that. So thank you. I want to ask you just out the gate how you're doing. You know, how with the pandemic, the civil unrest. Black people have always been through trying times, but it's a little
y'all
extra
ain't been
right
through
now.
shit. All y'all got money. Shut up.
We got another layer on top right now. So how are you doing?
I'm doing good. You know, the pandemic, it hit everybody and caught everybody off guard. Thank God for D Nice, who start spinning them records, man, and kept people
right?
just, kind of, you kept our sanity, you know what I'm saying? And then the thing with George Floyd happened, which shook everybody to our core. When you hear a man, scream for his mama, I think everybody in the world felt that. So, everything.
Yeah, BGS did a video about that. I mean, that shit was crazy. If that wasn't you seeing psycho, that's one thing when you see the guy not see it, because people are not gonna really, that's not gonna resonate with people, because that's what black men do. But you would never see that. That's shit. Like, for real.
Yeah, that's that archetype nonsense.
Yeah, it really is. And especially a dude his age, that shows you from the womb to the tomb, man.
Reals for me. And I just been on this quest trying to get us true equality, not just equality on social issues, but economic equality, which is this is important.
Well, let's just jump right in then, Q. Because I have been, looking at the bites from your interview. You did an interview with Roland Martin, which helped me, I want to say, because I will say that when I first heard that you were...
she all right. She about to be honest. When I first heard, like, that nigga get down. Hold on. All right, I'm curious.
Trump, I was like, wait a minute, what? Hold on.
Exactly.
Because you my boy. So I was like, I got a personal insight. I'm going to call him directly.
I didn't say I was supporting.
Allegedly.
They keep saying that shit was supporting Trump. And notice how she said sound bites. One thing I want y'all to understand about at least Ice Cube got Ice Cube is Dr. Claude Anderson is in Ice Cube's ear. The dude that knows the most about what we need to do. People can say he's a celebrity. He's just, at the end of the day, a lot of what Ice Cube has done is not the same as what a lot of other people done. He built, like, he wrote Friday. Friday is what launched him. Just like, so let's stop acting like, in Hollywood. Let's stop acting like Ice Cube ain't never been really about his business in a way. Much daylight between Ice Cube and Tyler Perry. I'll say that. It's just Tyler Perry's been more on the producer role.
Well, just understand that a lot of the stuff that he screenwritten has been very pro-black oriented when that stuff was very unpopular. Very unpopular.
That's another thing that people don't consider either. Exactly. When you look at the movie, see, now we're going to play since black women want to have a fucking problem, let's look at the history of black women in Ice Cube's productions. Meaning there is nothing but, and it ain't just light-skinned bitches. Like, everybody gets a piece in all of his shit, even some of the more goofy shit, even some of the shit he did with Kevin Hart. But see, you can't see this shit ain't gonna be looked at. It's just gonna be, oh, well, we mad at blah. This is why certain people are kind of holding back on them. But let's
right. That's what I heard. That's what the bite.
Was it the Players Club at Ice Cube production?
Yep.
Exactly, Lisa Ray.
The sound people got to do their research. And I watched that interview, and I heard.
And that's what launched Lisa Ray. People forget that shit.
You break it down to why you were involved, why you met with both sides, and when you got involved, which was not just recently. And so, when I said, what contract was he talking about? This contract. What is that? Where did it come from? I did not know. So when I think of things that I don't know, I automatically assume that a whole lot of people out there don't know. So I would want you to educate me.
Of course. Can't be that you stupid, but go ahead.
As well. So what did make you go to the administration and speak with them?
Well, what happened was, there was a lot of people upset, a lot of reforms being put on the table during George Floyd, but I was looking around for a document that really was speaking on what's the needs in the community and what do we need across the board, not just from government, but from the private sector too. Because there's a lot of companies that are involved in our pain, and they got to pay up too. They owe us reparations as well in some shape or form. So it was nothing. I was looking around. I'm like, damn, where is the document? Where is the ask? What are we asking for as a people across the board deals with not only police brutality, but all our needs? So I started, owning myself with, some smart people I know. We end up getting, economists involved, people like Derek Hamilton. We started to go and just find the smartest minds to help try to put a document together so we can actually have something to say, damn, all this is things we need. This is so anybody black could look at our document, yeah, support this, support, you know, some of the things that we have. Now, I'm not a politician, and I shouldn't be the one to have to put this thing together. We've had it in place for a long time, and they haven't come up with something like this. So I was surprised, but that didn't stop me. And we put that together July 1st, and we revamped it about, let me get the timeline here. We revamped it July 19th. And from then, people wanted to interview me about it. So I went on just promoting the contract with Black America, contacted by any of the politicians saying, yo, this is a great idea. Everybody that I would show to say, oh, these are great ideas. This is common sense. This is things that should be in place already, but they're not. So I was just kind of saying, okay,
initiative.
Yeah, starting an initiative, and I'll make a long story short. I was just going up.
What nobody's saying either is with Cardi B. Now, everybody, I get Cardi B as a strong influencer, but from a credibility standpoint, that looks bad. That looks very. See, Cardi B is a credible person, even though she's an influencer. So this is where shit like that. It's like who's running that shit? Like supposedly Simone Sanders is supposed to be in that campaign, and I don't know how and that just tells you how in love with their own bullshit that they are. The fact that Simone Sanders, appreciate the super chat, Gabe Briggs, and appreciate like Kobe. I got you, Kobe. What I'm saying is I gotta I'm getting through this. So I already told y'all I ain't having a whole bunch of people on. Milton, most of these chicks are ensigns and voluntary single. That's funny, ensigns. I love. So yeah, I just wanted to keep through this. All right, so this 1.5 is actually working.
We're gonna go after the private sector. We're gonna go after the banks. We're gonna go after Hollywood. We're gonna go after the people that we know got their hands in the. So then we started to get contacted from the Democrats on September 8th. And then we started talking to them, Republicans. So that's when the ball started rolling then. So it's not just like I just jumped into anything. I mean, I just did the contract and then people started to contact me. I was hoping the Democrats would be all over me. But you know, that wasn't the case. And I understand it wasn't like I was throwing a fit.
So he said he started. So that would have been like what the primaries, but the primaries, the one thing I get it. I mean, obviously you can backseat quarterback, but the problem is the primaries are over by then. So a lot of them didn't have an incentive to try to reach out to Cube to try to show that they're Democrat. That's a big reason why they didn't jump in that point.
It was like, okay, we're going at the private sector. And then the Republicans contacted me. And to me, if you're speaking for Black people, you should speak to whoever is in power or about to be in power.
And I think you had a statistic. You said something about there has been 7,000 Black people elected, and you felt like in offices for us, and you felt like they ain't made a change. We've not come far at all with 7,000 of us in there. What are we going to do? Who is going to take this and say, okay, I'll be in the front line of this, and then get in the front line and have everybody come on board with you? Because let's be honest, you are Ice Cube and you do have a huge platform. So I would say that for me to note that you've been using your platform to be able to have I think it's worth you doing the interviews that you're doing and letting everybody know and hear your voice on one.
I want to jump in and say, I just don't think it's that fair to the 7,000 of Black.
Oh, no, this bitch ain't about to do that. But it said so far. Okay, so it's just me. All right. It's just me. All right. Yeah, shout out to Nameless. Nameless, I know you got to go. So, oh my God. All right, what's up, Kobe?
No, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but like I said, no, I mean it's just you and me. But like I said, man, I was keeping it small for a reason because I don't want to be on here. But it's cool because Nameless dropped off. So
okay.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
I'm just going through this so I can say I went through it. But so far it's cool. But now we about to get into make sure you mute up. But now we about to get into Claudia Jordan. And you know, for the most part, I like Claudia. But Claudia, one of these chicks where she knows how to be personable. But Claudia knows she be on the fuck shit. And she'll tell you she's shit. I've heard her say it more than once. This is a woman that has jumped from radio show to radio show because the thing is she tries to take over shit a little bit. And I like Claudia, but people don't fuck with her hard enough to be trying to pull that. That's what happened with her and Ricky Smiley.
Black elected officials that have been in office.
Right, to say that they've done nothing.
Yeah, because I think that is, I think that's a slippery slope to walk down, because as we saw with
A lot of progress.
No, it ain't. No, fuck that progress shit. Fuck that bullshit. 95% of these politicians that are black in a black Congress should be replaced. Period. So if you're talking about 7,000, 10% is 700. So maybe you keep 350 of them. So you get to pick 350. The rest of them gone. They need to be.
I feel like it's affirmative action, low key. It's affirmative action, somewhat, right?
Well, no, they're getting elected because that's where they are. I mean, that's where the black populations are. But the reality is, these you can, okay. I'll say this.
A bone?
No, I'll say this. You have never heard of most black politicians actually rail against the term people of color. When are we going to do something for specifically African Americans? Because what people don't understand is, even though you constituency, that party and how you move up or get things done within that party is determined upon the party politics within each party. This is why every party allows politicians to line up on the same thing. And one of the things in the Democratic Party is the hidden policy of benign neglect, where pretty much every black politician has to sign up for, otherwise they won't be there long, because people are gonna work to try to replace them, and that's what doesn't get said. But anyway.
It's been made.
It's not as you get elected and bam, you can make all the changes one man.
Right.
I never said that 7,000 black people have never did anything. I said that since the 60s, there's been over 7,000 black politicians elected in prominent positions. And our situation, as far as the wealth gap hasn't changed. We flatlined from the 60s to now. We have not gained or closed the wealth gap. So that's the major problem. I understand we got a lot of people, working hard for progress. Just the facts are, it hasn't happened in the traditional way. That's why I want to break the mold.
So I just want to say, first of all, there's this whole cancel that we have. First of all, anybody canceling no damn Ice Cube. Let me just say that first, not the he was the first to the police. So go sit down. Nobody's canceling Ice Cube, and if you are canceling, that's fucking stupid. Second of all, I do think that it is very good that you are taking an initiative to, and I like how you say bipartisan, because that means both parties. This is for both parties. We want both parties to jump onto this. This is not just, this person, that person. We want everybody to grab a hold on to what African American people need singularly. And I remember we talked about this on Cocktails. Remember, Lisa Ray, when you asked the question before, you were like, well, who's going to do something? Who's going to lead singularly for African Americans? Now, I do know that there have been tons of initiatives. CBC has initiatives all the time, Congressional Black Caucus. The Nation of Islam, right here, National Agenda. They've had an entire agenda that happened right after the Million Man March. It was presented to, what's the name? The president that was Clinton. It was presented to the Clinton administration. So we have tried going on. But one thing I do like about your initiative is that it is singular to black people. That wealth gap is a fool, and it does need to be dealt with. But here's my question. I watched you on the Black Report the other day, on Friday, and they asked.
So I will say, so far in the first 10 minutes, the fuckery hasn't happened. So I'm going to give it that. I call the strikes.
Hey, Q, what do you think about, when you see the Black Man March, and how does that make you feel? And you said something that was really profound and stood out to me. You said, you know what? I wish that black people and black men could watch this over again and get back to this, because you said, even myself, we need to get back to this type of unity, this type of connecting. And so my thing is, let's say whoever get in office, it ain't gonna matter. The initiative is set, and then nothing's happening, or something is happening, or whatever, it's there. Now, let's say they give us all the $500 billion that we asked for. Do you honestly think, and I'm not even trying to be
which, by the way, $500 billion, and they were talking about way more, even, well, technically they wasn't. So technically this is, but that's still ain't jack shit. Like, if you ain't talking about like a trill, but America ain't got that kind of money.
I'm not even trying to be funny or trying to catch somebody up. I'm just asking a real question.
What?
I feel like you should give like a tax write-off, like me, white people not pay taxes for X amount of years.
We'll see.
With the state of how our community is already broken, how we already have PTSD, how we already are not connecting already interculturally, with infrastructure of African Americans in general is just jammed up, with or without money. Do you think, and what could be the process of once we get this money?
So it's interesting that, but the truth is, nobody out here is really having the conversation outside of really the managed black about why the African American community is jammed up. Everybody just says it, because the truth is, once we start really breaking down the details, then so it's just saying shit to be saying shit. It's just don't get me started on that shit.
Implementing it.
They're just saying jargon at this point.
And really allocated where it makes sense and matters, and what's going to be necessary for that to happen.
Oh shit. It's gonna take me a second to get back.
It's lagging. It's lagging.
No, it's not lagging. It's that I clicked on something. He said, "Isn't Ice Cube's ignorance direct reason?" No. What are you talking about? Ice Cube is probably been one before there was Jay-Z. There was Ice Cube. What are you talking about his ignorance? I can't believe it, man. That's like, really? Yo, this was a damn shame. The man didn't even get to his plans for Black America. They just kept talking. Yeah. Well, so far we're 10 minutes in. Like I said, man, a lot of y'all, because you got like folks that be on the Black conservative shit, they be on that shit, and I'll be like, okay, what about?
The fuckeries doesn't happen to like the 18-minute mark. It doesn't happen to the 18-minute mark.
So the good news is we'll probably slow this down. Okay. Well, I mean, but I wanted to give this a thing. This is like, because everybody like be like, oh my God. And that makes sense.
Well, you know, what I said on the show about the Million Man March was the fact that it was a day of atonement. It was a day where we were gonna bury the hatchet with each other. It was the day when we were supposed to go back to our neighborhood kind of as new people and try to, you know.
Yeah, but the problem with that is we're not, until you're on it, you can't bury a hatchet that you're not on. You can't acknowledge. You can't bury a hatchet if you don't acknowledge the grievances. Because with the Million Man March is, you notice how the Million Man March didn't have nothing to do with women. So women can go on the same shit they were doing. And then this is where black men just keep on trying to do what supposedly a black man do. See, that was bullshit from the jump. That's why that didn't work. And see, that could work for the Nation of Islam because the Nation of Islam got their women under control.
Make things better. Right. And, you know, it just didn't happen in the way, you know, we all envisioned it. But we can't start. You know, we do need financial help in our communities, but we also gotta make a commitment to ourselves to clean up ourselves. You know, it do start with mirror. You know, you can't deal with the white man out here until you deal with the white man in there. You see what I mean? So you have to clean up. We have to clean up ourselves. We've been poisoned by this society. We've been poisoned by trying to.
It's easy to see. It's, you know, if everybody hears that, and she agreed to that because in her mind, all black men act like or want to be white. She never hears the female side of that. See, if he said myth of white womanhood, talk about all that fucking weave they had, then they'd have a problem.
Live life had us oppressed, and what they are attracted to, we're attracted to. We got to come out of that. We got to be our own people with our own flavor, our own style, our own morals, and we got to flip it. Mr. Holy, I'm guilty of it too. So it's something we all have to start doing to clean ourselves up. But I think the key is to try to get the money in the hands of people who are trying to be on the right side, the progressive people, the people who are, you know, business owners, people who want to own homes, you know, people who want to beautify their homes. So it isn't, you know, just, it's things where we can get money into responsible people's hands, and hopefully they'll hire the community to teach the community. They'll use the community to hopefully clean the community up. Government has a job too. You know, why you use the armies just to come in and put guns on us and make sure we're not protesting? Why you don't use the armies to come fix fences and roofs and paint walls and do things to beautify the neighborhood? You know, it's like they got to rethink how government works for the people.
Because they trying to get your ass up out of here. Haven't you seen gentrify, ethnic cleansing Americans?
When it's time. You know,
everybody make a quick statement though, Q.
Go ahead.
If the administration that is in there right now hasn't done it for the past 3.5 years, what do you think is going to make them start in the next 4 years that they are giving more and giving more during a pandemic? I know you got to take a break, hold that thought, but I just got to ask that and make that statement because you can't make them owe them all of that and they 3.5 years. So
yeah,
I know 50 Cent going for Trump had to burn Vivica ass Fox's ass. I know that.
I make them do nothing. So
need them to do something if we're going to trust them to do it.
Hold on, guys. We got to take a quick break. Okay. I definitely want to talk about that. I definitely want to talk about QB has some very, very good point about the military, but this current administration is using the military to enforce their own agenda. And let's take a quick break. A lot of gems being dropped here. We'll be back with more Cocktails with the Queens when we return after this break. Asked about if the current administration has not done it in 3.5 years. Why now is this massive push with 2 weeks before the election? I understand.
Are you serious? Well, black people asked that same thing about Obama, and all the excuses Obama got. Oh, don't get me started on that shit.
With this since June, July, but we're hearing about it now, so it looks really. I think it looks very like I feel like I don't, and I know this isn't your intention, but I feel like
Biden ain't promised you shit though. That's the thing that kills me about that. And then he picked the vice president of somebody that said if we're gonna do something specific about black people, no. Whatever.
You know how they use us all the damn time. You know what I mean?
But the Democrats aren't doing that. Republicans don't need black people. Don't get me. I
mean, both sides use celebrities. But check this out. The thing is this. I'm not here saying he's gonna do anything. But he didn't make a promise to me. He made a campaign promise to the world. So he's on record for that. Now, we wanted Joe Biden on record. He has a plan, but I don't know if his plan really pinpoints black people. So we want a plan that we don't know if any of them going to do it. But when you have a person on record as a campaign promise, you have more to go at him with because he's told the world this is what he's going to do. And if he doesn't deliver. Now, why hasn't dude done it in 3 years? I don't know. Nobody's been pressing him. Everybody's been like, he's the boogeyman, run. And nobody's been pressing him on behalf of black people because we've been just waiting for Democrats to get back in. You know?
There's been a lot of people that have asked him, what about the wall? What about the kids? I mean,
what about? Yo, can y'all hear me? Press 1 if y'all can hear me. I know this motherfucker didn't say that. I can't believe that. What about, like, I don't give a fuck about that. And see, you want to know the truth. The truth is, if it ain't black kids in them cages, I don't give a fuck. How about that? How about that?
There's a lot of things that
I understand that.
I'm not going to give him no plus signs whatsoever.
That, but check this out. I'm talking about pressing him to give things to black people. These are country issues. I'm talking about black people pressing him to give things to black people. Everybody treated him like a boogeyman.
Exactly. The wall was really not a domestic issue. Exactly.
Go and press him to give things to black people. The stuff that he's doing to the rest of the country, I understand that.
Hey you, I've just found this amazing opportunity online, but I don't know. Should I do it? Why are you asking them? It's not up to them, it's up to you. Of course you should do
it. But we raggedy. We got to get our. We have to press any president that.
I don't understand. Think about how animated Vivica Fox is getting over some shit that ain't got nothing to do with black people. Think of how concerned she is. This is a Hollywood chick that's been in Hollywood for like 20, 30 years, since the 90s. Think of how stupid that is. Now, can you hear anybody that ain't black really bitching and crying that hard about what's going on with black people? This ain't even as bad as what I
press, or it's not going to work. We can't just press one side.
He says when we just press them that the other people are fine people. I mean, is that?
Okay, that don't mean shit. Like Afro Synergies, that's the dude a lot of time be talking about. We be on that gynocentric shit sometimes, but he's got 66,000 followers. I'm not gonna hate on the dude for he built the channel. He even said he got a video, and I'm gonna post it in my community tab. He's got a video. Listen to the first minute, and he talks about Joe Biden. He got a clip of Joe Biden said, "I don't care what happened. I don't care why. I have had my name on every fucking crime bill since the 1970s. That is what Joe Biden said. And he said it with pride. And this is the type of shit that black people, particularly black men, don't stand when and see, when you think of how much black people hemmed up Bloomberg for stop and frisk, recognize stop and frisk didn't put your ass in jail like that. And I wouldn't have liked stop and frisk at all, but man, my bills work.
Right. I mean, and he won't announce to people that hurt us and suppress us. And then the policeman had his neck on somebody's neck for 9 minutes.
I'm not here to fight about what he did, what he didn't do. Is he a good white man? Is he a bad white man? To me, they pretty much all the same. So now,
I don't agree with that.
That said,
of course you all wouldn't agree with that. That shit that's probably the clip of the fucking day. I don't agree with that. Well, of course you don't agree with that. Of course you agree with that. This is actually what led you to. And here's the thing. Of course, if they're a white man giving you personal opportunity, man, get the fuck out of here. You lucky I ain't trying to lose this buffering.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with
of course your mixed ass wouldn't.
Well, look, I know we've had all kind of presidents and our situation hasn't changed. So that's why I said they're pretty much all the same when it comes to a president and dealing with a situation.
I gotta ask.
And that is true. That's probably, man, please, man. And you can tell he didn't know that. This ain't a stupid dude that's talking.
I gotta ask because you're on this show with Cocktails with the Queens, and there's a
man, fuck you. Oh my God.
The reason for that, it wasn't to not defend Donald Trump. It was about I care about what's in this contract with Black America for women, and it's not. We're not mentioning that all in the contract with America.
You are mentioned. I mean, when you mention black, you mentioning black women.
I love how he quickly said that shit. I love that shit. Like that, he without hesitation. The fuck you mean? The fuck you mean? And I'm curious how this is what I want to hear.
Don't count yourself out.
No, that's not true.
Are you fucking see?
There it is. There it is.
I know Archer wanted to bring it. I know Archer, you found the damn clip to bring your ass back to that.
You see how brazen they are?
Yeah, I know. I'm laughing because I've done the same shit. I've got to go on my Google Finder. Yeah, shout out to Rebel Zone 804. Remember Cube in Higher Learning movie. Yep. A Briggs, appreciate the super chats, y'all. DJ the super chat, y'all. All that shit counts. I appreciate it.
Yo, Edward, but I want to say something before
hold on. Yo, this is a damn shame they didn't. Oh, go ahead. What do you want to say?
There's something that just happened I think most people are missing. He basically said he doesn't care about the white people. He don't care if they like him or not. His goal is his agenda. And the women on that panel basically said, no, that's not the goal. There are good white people out there, and we want their approval more. We want their approval more than we want our own agenda. And this is why you don't let women. This is why you don't let women become your political strategy. This is why your strategic HQ should never be operated by women, because women seek approval and attention and to be liked over.
They don't overturning something. They're not. Yeah, they're gonna try to find their place in a society, not overturn it.
And that's what
they don't rock the boat.
That's what Ice Cube was trying to do. He's saying this agenda is about progress. It's not about which white man likes us, who says favorable things about us, and who makes us feel good. It's about our position, our money, our bank, and our progress.
Well, here's the sad part about this, just to give some positive, and not just to be positive, but to tell the truth. The truth is, if you actually compare these women, these are celebrity women, so I don't expect them to be like at depth on this shit. And you compare them to like the 5 like females, or the 5 females either spoken. Okay, switch these 4 women out, and you put up Brittany Cooper. You put up that Bunny Ruckus chick that was that he was on with Roland Martin with. You put up Simone Sanders, and you put up another chick. And which ones are actually? That's sad that these women are actually doing better. That's sad, but they actually are. They actually are. Ain't none of them to talk about. We need to withhold sex, not yet, at least. Ain't nobody has talked about, ain't disrespected Cube like he ain't even a man that's worthy of saying shit. And I mean, obviously they could be put in a face, but still, it's all on the camera. So I wanted to point that out. And that's not me trying to get him credit. That's me trying to say that's how bad are actually legit involved in this, has actually more vitriol towards Ice Cube than folks. Anyway, let's see.
Well, Edward, one more thing. But this is one thing you're missing, because this is where it comes with black women. Ice Cube is probably the perfect messenger for this panel, because of all the back history he has with these women. Don't give them too much credit, because if this was another black man, I don't think
that is true. That is true.
I don't think they will be coming at him with this, they will be reframing this much because they're not really worried
Yeah,
about
because
his
Lisa
message.
Ray is quiet. Lisa, number one, is the dude that's capable of making their life a lot easier in Hollywood too. This is the
you can hear him. He's not talking. They're not talking about his message so much. They're talking about other things. But they're more worried about. They're not even thinking about the message. So black women, they never care about the message. They care about the messenger.
Exactly. But let's see. Let's go see. Because now they're on some like, of course they're gonna say all white men are the same. And he was talking about president, like, but yeah, we getting that black woman thing. But like I said, he said without hesitation, he was for black women. And see, this is the issue. The way black women actually believe they're oppressed in their own community. And until we have station, like, that's some goofy ass shit, but they really believe that shit. Take the white man off the table. Are you really telling me that you would have something to bitch about if they were gone? Are you serious? And this is what we about to get into. Let's get into it.
Administration say that when they
black people is not black women. Black women are not included in black people.
No.
Exactly. See how fucking stupid that sounds. I wish I could rewind it.
That's like when the president, then he's including black people.
That's completely different. Oh, Selena, that's what the fuck. Oh, let's hear it.
We all know that's not the case. Black women have specific needs that are not also being met. And we also feel that there should be some things that are specific to us and our plight as well. And I
understand that.
I feel like as a black man, you can
I just offered y'all to write a section up for it. I just said I don't mind if you guys help us. If you guys help us write a section.
That's a good shit, because if IQC, the problem is these women would get mad at this, but the truth is, I would say, so are you honestly telling me that when money goes or policy goes to black people, who benefits from that? So give me the order: black men, black women, black children that benefits to anything that goes along. That's what I would say. Make them tell you, and make them say, they're going to say the children because that's the easy, even though that's not true. And then if they were to say the children, if they say, okay, the children, okay, fine, I'll give you that. Who else? And then let's see if they're going to be stupid. Because if they say the women and the men, then the women, I'm going to say, okay, so who's generally the custodial of the children? So by definition, they get those benefits. Like, don't lie. And they know this because most of them got kids. They bullshit.
I've been open to all kind of experts in putting this together. It wasn't just me. We dealt with experts in field contract America. So we were experts in the section when it comes to women. So that's no problem.
Okay,
I'll help you write it. I'll help you write it.
Say you do get the money. How soon do you think your plan is going to effect? When will we start seeing the benefits?
I'm not getting 1 quarter. Okay,
no. I said
this is something.
He said your plan. Again, he's not a fucking politician. Now she's in her emotions.
He's not the president either. He doesn't work in Congress. Learn how politics work.
Hey, this is a black woman that want to be right. That's all that shit is. You get look. This is hold on. Look at that picture. So y'all can help y'all a little bit. Oh, I'm gonna make the quality back 1080.
Okay, I'm getting mad.
No, I know you get mad, but I want you to, you get the point, but I just want people to see the point. Look at how she's acting. Look at that. What has Ice Cube done? I want somebody to understand, tell me. I have a sister, I'll have a rating woman. Danielle, what has Ice Cube done to warrant that fucking look on her face? Ice Cube is not mad. Ice Cube has not caped for Trump in any kind of way. Ice Cube has not said anything negative about black women. All this, it ain't like,
yo, why are you burping, bro?
Yeah,
sorry about that.
Yeah, because like real talk, yeah. So what is warranted is bullshit. What is warranted that?
Look, let me jump in here right quick. I tell you what warranted. He didn't fall for the trick bag. And they just tried to give him the biggest goddamn trick bag in the world. What they wanted him to do was they wanted him to go down that rabbit hole of trying to explain to these women all the things that has happened for them and hasn't happened to black men. That way they can turn around and say he is anti-black women. But what he did was he reversed it on these lazy ass heifers. He said, you know what? You write the bill. Because we all know black women ain't gonna do no goddamn work for themselves. So he put the pressure on them to do some goddamn work for themselves. And now they the balls in their court and they freaking mad.
So let's see. Nah, I'm gonna be fair. Like the one that so far has shown her ass the most, if I had to rank them, I would say it's Vivica, then Claudia. Selena's been quiet. Lisa didn't got a lot of money out of Cube based on work. So Lisa no to shut the fuck up, unless given a real reason. And Lisa's already been in some shit with how she went at her sister. Let's see though.
Way he feel that can fit.
Okay, but can I just ask though, what would you see this plan doing for the first year for us if he's reelected?
I'm not part of the administration.
First of all, my question is, when the fuck were you all asking Obama that shit? That's number one. Number two, where the fuck was you at when Kamala Harris said she wasn't gonna do nothing for black people? So look, where were y'all at in the primaries? I don't want to hear jack shit about y'all wanting to get specifics. Y'all didn't hear nothing about no fucking specific. Y'all don't kiss my ass with that. I got you, Charles. Give me 1 second.
Well,
I'm here for black people. I'm here to talk to both administrations about the contract with Black America. The plan is not mine. Didn't name it. Put it together. All it was about the contract.
I didn't even count. I didn't even catch that shit. She's actually asking him questions. Platinum plan when that shit ain't his. Like I said, she thinks she like you can feel the like Darth Sidious. Let it flow. You can feel the hate. Like, and to be fair, you know, she the only one really getting hyped right now. The rest of them so far has been all right. Even though Claudia pulling that little Claudia bullshit she pulled sometimes, but. You know, y'all understand. Claudia got a white woman in her, man. She know how to pull it out.
I'm going back. I'm listening to every Ice Cube album ever made because that nigga's showing good composure because I couldn't do it.
Let me put it to you this way. I had the pleasure of bodyguarding her one time.
Which one?
Vivica.
Oh, okay. This was okay.
And see, that's what happens when you carry yourself and you want to be an A-lister so bad, but you only getting C-lister results. This is what happens when you get this little snarky attitude, like, how dare you come up with some, how dare you talk to this president? But these are the same motherfuckers who would have gave Obama a blowjob if he so ordered it.
Oh, yeah. And let's keep it real about Vivica. People forget. The thing about Vivica is she had a classy face with a stripper body. You know, and I hate to say it like that, but that's what got her in the yard. And I'm not hating on her, but she's allowed that hubris to really fuck up her career. Because if Vivica actually knew how to act, she'd probably be a mom in a TV sitcom by now. But she be talking right. She talked too much shit to the wrong people. And see, when you look at people like Cube, and it's not just Cube, Will Packard, it's a lot. Like, man, when you look at actually black male producers, they go to work to get black women in Hollywood hired. Unless like before Shonda Rhimes was doing all that swirler shit outside of Tyler Perry, this idea that like this is why Lisa Ray keeping her mouth shut to a certain extent. See,
you know why? Because, you know why? Because here's the reason why. Like in the corporate world, like in the regular job, the person who gets black women fired the most are themselves.
That's true, and I'm gonna tell you that's true. Vivica fucked up because people talk about Vivica got with 50 when she was 40. She was already on her way out, and that's the thing. And you know she's all right for her age, for real. But the thing is, that was her last real shot, and she blew that shit. You know, and that's why she's mad at 50 so much because she feel like 50 fucked up her last ride. And at the end of the day, man, don't her to chase a young dude like that. That was her.
Wait, are they asking him about the platinum plan? They're asking him about the platinum plan, right? See, this shows that they're not really for a black agenda. They're for these parties. No. They don't even understand what
they're for themselves.
Exactly.
They're not even for the party. They're for themselves. They don't give a fuck. If Republicans gave all the same shit, that's what these bitches be screaming.
That would be true. So so Charles, you get in, and I want to keep this going because we've been making good time.
I'm just like this. I'll say this before you replay it. It's I have female friends of mine I know for almost over 30 years. And we go through this whole spiel. I said, look, you're not accountable, which means when you're not accountable, you will never make a great nation. You just want somebody to kiss your ass, and you can give a damn about how the other rest of the country, or even your own children or your men, react. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't respect us, but because of the way the world is, because of the fact that nobody else wants you, you stick around. I mean, just go. It's real quick. I'll end it with this one. It's no different than when you're talking to your parents and you think you're growner than me, then go step outside that house and see how the real world is.
Yeah. And that's why I did that first thing with. I'm glad I did that thread. I went through a whole Facebook thread that I actually had an interaction with a woman, and they all think this way. It doesn't matter the class. Like they are like I'm not all black women, but you get what I'm saying. This anyway. It's funny how they all think they different. They all think they unique. Yo, you don't want you talk. You don't know all black women. I'm like, nobody knows. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, but you had that one conversation you had with her was the conversation I had with her.
And I'm willing to meet with both sides. They can add some things or not. It's fine.
I mean, you know, they ran off immediately and did statements that you're basically a Republican now.
That's on them. That ain't on me.
Edward, you there, bro?
Is the internet lagging?
Might be some lag going on.
Oh.
Unless you got to come in and come back out. But this is a... you know what? I'm convinced these motherfuckers do not want any progress of the black community.
You were a friend with Donald Trump when you was getting paid.
You're back.
That bullshit.
Oh, you're back. You know, we didn't hear a damn thing you said, so you're going to have to go back about 5 minutes.
Who me? Nah, that's fine. It was lagging. Okay, that's what you were talking about with the internet. I wasn't saying that important.
Yeah.
But we were talking about you, too. We could hear you.
Oh,
yeah,
damn.
It went silent, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it was a lag. They were trying to load it. So let's go forward with this.
Okay.
Why would you believe after he gets black votes, his whole goal from...
You see, they always juxtapose Trump like as if Biden has always told the fucking truth. This is what kills me.
3 years ago was to siphon 20% of black male votes to cross over to vote to support him. Why would we believe to be elected he will follow through with any of these plans, as opposed to Joe Biden and Kamala, who would be in their first term and be more indebted to do the right thing?
Oh my God, that is this. Oh my, don't get me started on this shit. I'm not going to go. No comment.
Why should we believe?
No comment.
Why should we believe that Donald Trump would actually follow through? That's a legit question that I have.
Follow through.
I mean, I don't know. You're gonna have to figure that out because I'm.
Hold on, this is the truth. First, this Trump promised black people that he hasn't done.
See, let's talk.
So when we talk about lies, you talk about what the fuck he said. You talk about what the fuck he says to get going back and forth with them.
Let's talk about some
he
real
do the
shit.
Same shit black women do with us. Go ahead.
Let's talk some real shit that nobody ever talks about.
Yeah.
Why won't any of these chicks ever get on none of these political programs and never talk to none of these politicians? You really think Kamala Harris is going to give anything to black people? When has she ever said that I'm black?
She's already said she wasn't. But Kamala's already giving you your answer. That's what's crazy about that. She said specifically, I'm not going to do anything specific for black people. And that's who Biden picked.
So what the fuck do you think? I gotta say, for all these presidential elections, they can't even get a full blood nigga to come up there and actually run for office. The mulatto has replaced you in political arena.
Not even that, but they didn't have the audacity to get a token Negro to say if you didn't vote for Joe Biden, you're not black. They got a white guy telling someone that.
Yeah, that's crazy. So let's see. Let's keep
We
going.
got to push our agenda. No matter in there. And you know, in a perfect world, you know, the Biden campaign would have brought me in, and we would have really talked about the plan and, you know, great things to their plans to specifically target Black people. But they chose not to, and that's fine. You know,
see, they gonna see Claudia trying to be slick. She about to try to get him.
But the thing is, I'm not a supporter of neither one of them.
I'm saying
That's what's the problem. I'm an independent person.
You'll have a conversation with the administration if Biden wins and Kamala wins. It's not too late. So I don't think it's fair to dismiss what they are. They're not in power yet, so they really can't say. They really can't say. We're not even in power.
You can't promise shit when you ain't in power. What the fuck is the wall? So he couldn't. Get the fuck out of here, Selena. This is what she doing. She doing it. If I say it like concerned and nice as a woman, then emotionally he's just gonna come to me, and then when he doesn't fall for that bullshit, then that's when the real chick comes out.
Congress.
You can't make campaign.
So
they have. That's what.
Make the promise.
Well, who the fuck makes promises once they get in? Damn, that's some stupid ass shit. And she really said that.
Lift every voice can sing plan. That is their promise to America and to the world. So the thing is, you can always promise. You got to.
This is why one thing that I will say about this is a clinic as to why Black women, for the most part, always control the environment by which they engage in Black men on TV. Because the truth is, Ice Cube is a very intelligent person, but we're not going to say he's like the brightest dude that we got or the most experienced dude that we got on this topic, right? And you see how fucking stupid they all sound. It's almost like they're not even on the same level of engagement.
He's not even sweating. He's not even sweating intellectually with them. It's not even a challenge. Look at it.
Yeah.
It's literally chilling.
And this will literally break that myth of sisters are smarter than us, because the truth is, this is not even Ice Cube's field. This is just, man, this is why they don't like doing that shit. And this is the power of the internet, because they all start looking goofy. And what happens is Vivica in that attitude, you can see the little spitness in Claudia Jordan, you know, you see the whininess in Selena, and you see Lisa Ray uncharacteristically is keeping her mouth shut. You see it.
You know, there's so much more that needs to be done. And he knows that it's so much that falls short in that plan when it comes to actually helping Black people. People of color, diversity, all those are trick words. And Black people don't necessarily get a tenth of that. So
they're benign neglect words. And that's the one thing I wish he'd start talking about. But see, if he do, I bet you they told him not to say that. Because you start saying that's fighting words right there, because now you really, you know, going at them.
So we have to really be smart and really make sure that money is touching the hands of the people who have really struggled in this country for hundreds of years.
I have a question. You said that the
Biden Claudia's wearing them white girl glasses, them Nancy glasses. Like,
Biden campaign didn't reach out to you, and you said first. You said
they did reach out, but they didn't want to. They said we'll hook up after the election.
And to be fair, they're not the power in party right now. I want to ask you this, if this is true, because I had heard from one of my sources that you were contacted for the Zoom call with Kamala Harris, Hughley, Snoop Dogg, you, Killer Mike. They were all.
Fuck DL. I'm sick of DL's post shitting on Ice Cube on the low. Man, as much shit as DL talk, if Ice Cube were to see him like for real, DL would bitch up. And I got low key like a couple of degrees of relation to DL. DL is really disappointing my ass.
Let me put it to you this way: DL, he got the little hat, the little gold tee, the woke, the woke kick going on. DL is a dumb motherfucker. Okay,
talking about the GED edition.
He is a dumb motherfucker. Well, he's not that most qualified. Okay, we'll go here. What made Obama qualified to be president? I'll wait.
Go ahead. No, I was gonna say if Killer Mike was smart, Killer Mike would get behind Ice Cube. That's what Killer Mike would do. Killer Mike, the only issue with Killer Mike is I feel like he cozies up a little bit too much to Bernie, but he could actually redeem himself on that if he back. But see, the problem is, see, this is what she gonna try to use that. Well, you know, they try to have all you niggas on the call to corral you all up. This is talking to a nigga, not nigga, but Biden, the Cardi B. See, people forget that shit.
Nobody wants to bring up the Cardi B shit, huh?
And that was in September. And why? So you said they didn't reach out. The Democrat reach out, but Parsons folks reached out to you and wanted you to be on the Zoom call because they thought your voice was important. You to not participate in that.
Well, you know, we spent, you know, and, you know, I just thought that getting me believe needs to be done to me wasn't going to be productive. And I was also, because my lawyer.
That's also code for you want to go say you talked to me when you talked to me on a fucking Zoom call.
Matt Johnson has a connection with Kamala Harris, and I was promised a call that I never received. So, you know, that's why I didn't feel like I wanted to be on that Zoom call. So I feel like our plan is.
Ice Cube need to make Fruitville Station 2.
You can't talk about it with 12 other people who had nothing to do with it. And
we've been on streams. We already know. Nigga, he said 12 people, right? You already know how our streams are with 12 people.
These are a lot of things that really need to get done to have a serious conversation and not just
ain't gonna do no shit on no 12 people. That's with 12 niggas.
These are also people that you would talk to anyone that was willing.
Man, Celine, if you whiny shit.
Willing to help. You said you were.
I am, but I just said.
I love all the yo, Charles. Isn't this like the four different archetypes of black female?
This is like you got the angry bitch, you got the whining bitch, you got the I got a PhD bitch, you got the I can't find a man bitch. All they need is the fat bitch.
They try to pull an Order 66. They try to pull a General Group. Everybody attack. You got
the Mountain Rushmore female fuckery.
You lucky we ain't on my panel because I'd have put up the Wonder Woman gift right now. Like Ice Cube is like got the bracelets of submission, deflecting all the bullshit, making them answer. And I mean, you gotta put Icon up there, man.
Yeah,
you gotta put Icon up there or something, or Blue Marvel or somebody.
This nigga like Thanos and they Avengers. They try so hard.
Like, I mean, he just broke Captain America's shield, punched Thor in the face, kicked Tony Stark in the nuts. I mean, they really this lets you know that black women are politically like incapable of actually seeing shit. This lets you know that women political agenda is about 5 minutes long.
And these are not young. And here's the thing: these are not young women. Like I think Selena's in her 30s, I think, or early 40s. Claudia's in her early 40s. Lisa Ray's in her late 40s, and Vivica's like I think 50, 51, and Ice Cube is 51. These are people. These are not early 30s females. So these, you know how women get bright eyed and shit because they just come out of college and shit, or they've been 10 years. This is not them. These have lived life. And they come at it. A lot of them come at it at night. Claudia is more of a product of the early 2000s. These two out of the 90s. So it's like, come on now. Hold on. Claudia is like a late Xer. Either late X. She's right at. These are like, come on, man. They should know better.
That they said they were gonna call me direct, and I never got that call. So when you hear that, you're waiting.
But you can tell because he rocking, man. You can tell that no Vaseline trying to come out. He's just doing a good job. You know, he's doing a good job because he ain't even modulating, man. And only black men can do this shit.
Never came.
So no kind of way don't work if it's not the way that you started. You want.
Well, shit, that's like, that coming from a sister. No kind of that's a projection bullshit right there.
Well, I want to get things done. I don't want to just spin my wheels, talk to people who can't really make it happen. So I didn't want to just. Well,
the vice president.
This is the nicest Lisa Ray has ever acted in life. Like you all know, Lisa.
When I had it, listen, because I had a conversation. when I had the Zoom call with the DNC, the Democratic Party, was on the call for probably
come on,
over
man.
45 minutes.
You got 4 minutes. Just make it to the last 4 minutes. You almost there.
We never went through any other point.
I know you want to turn into Craig
to be dealt with when it comes to
don't
the situation
get that brick.
in this country. No one else has a plan that as many issues that this administration or any administration will, and that's
which is something that black people don't understand. It don't matter who the fuck you got in there. If I would have told you that it is a 50-50 chance that South Carolina could have 2 senators in there, if I would have said that 10 years ago, most motherfuckers would have said I'm crazy as a motherfucker. So political will matters.
I didn't want to put anybody on blast for that, but since they jump on the call, it's because I'm going to actually deal with this in a serious manner, and it wasn't just what I considered a rally call.
But I feel
that's still nigga, man. Get the fuck out of here, Lisa. Claudia needs to stop acting like she want to jump past the screen.
But
that's that white girl shit.
You're trying to get them to be able to help rally with the initiative.
That's bullshit. If you smart, then you would have did that shit before and got all them niggas on code. But let's keep it real. They're not on code because a lot of them are campaigning for Cocoa Puffs. So you may have been able to get Killer Mike on some shit like that. But get the fuck out of here.
Doing press about the contract of Black America outside of that. So I was using my press to promote the contract, not just to them dudes on the call, but to all of America, to all of Black America. That's where my thing is. So I wasn't on the call, but that don't mean we couldn't have a call. So that's
what they low key trying to do, and they think they slick, is they trying to recruit him into all of the rest of the celebrities, because that makes him a lot more easier to control. That's what that's what they low key trying to do.
What happened? And I don't feel like I made a mistake for not being on the call.
I will tell you, we have to wrap the show. We're way over, but I just want to say, Cube, I hear what you're saying, but I just want you to know, as Black women, how we would feel with, there's no mention specifically of Black women.
Man, fuck y'all. Bitch, you mixed. You technically half Black. Don't get me started. You have Black, you light. I'm questioning if Selena is even ADOS. Don't pull that bullshit. This
they had to slide that shit in. They had to slide that bullshit in. I mean, rolling pin that motherfucker.
She said, I gotta say, we gotta rap, but I gotta give this disclaimer. This nigga ain't on the Gynocracy team. Fuck the fact nigga.
They do
have to stand on top of that. I just told you can write that up.
You know they not gonna write shit, just like niggas don't read.
Notice we not on here.
We're not meeting up with Jared Kushner and Donald. So you can't say, well, if you don't like it, add to it. You're out here. You took.
Yeah, nigga. And you know what? You know, if see Ice Cube, you can tell Ice Cube. Look, man, I give him a lot of credit, but you can tell he's got somebody in his ear that's saying, say this, don't say this, and that's smart. But what I will say is, if he want to be an asshole, I already you hit these women about the boys. But if you want to be an asshole, I say, look, Black boys need more help than anybody. That's what I would say. And then they're not specifically mentioned because they're in a group. But what he should say is this. He should say, are you all supporters of Black Lives Matter? See, these are fighting words at this point. And they would all say yes because they're stupid. And I would say, have you all read Black Lives Matter's manifesto? No. Well, I got the screenshot. You should read it. It did not mention Black men. It went out of its way to say Black men were really the problem. Like,
as a matter of fact, ask them, like I always said, what are the 3 things the Black community don't give a fuck about? Been saying it for 5 years. Black boys, education, and being the heroes of your own narrative.
Yo, and the thing about it is the fact that Black, and see, that's such a tell, because the fact that you or Black women, they would say, and they all agree this, that it needs to say something specific. Like, well, bitch, what makes you special?
I would always ask, like, look, what are you doing to the #1 endangered species in the black community, the black male,
well,
the black boy.
But what I would say is, why is it that black? So what is it? Because you can't make the argument that most resources go to black men. That's an argument that cannot be made. And I know they're not that stupid that they don't know that.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. 3 people you don't underestimate: the stupid, the crazy, and the simp.
Yeah, and they took it down from the website too.
How many words do y'all want it to be? The thing is, you guys are the experts, but here we go again. You just want to talk. Nobody want to help me. Just want to talk. But y'all the experts on black women, so why won't y'all help me? See, that's the problem.
Yo, that's some fucking jujitsu shit he did. You see how
boy, he got in that ass with that one, boy.
And the thing is, you know, they not even smart enough to like throw a name out there to somebody that can speak for black women. They're not even smart enough to say, okay, let's nominate somebody or get somebody out there. They did not expect them to have that answer. I bet you Claudia thought she had it, man. Boy, yeah, this is why Ice Cube is here, and this is why y'all are there. You know, stick to the fucking radio.
I'll put it to you this way, man. 90% of the women I've dated have degrees. 70% of them, I'll say about 65% of the women I've dated have at least a master's. Do you understand? These are supposed to be.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, what's up?
Did they also lack common sense too?
Well, common sense. There is no degree for common sense. That's actually a good point, Kobe.
Well, here's the problem. There's a difference between intellectualism and educated. And when you have somebody who's educated, they can't think outside the box. They
can't think for themselves, like no critical thinking.
And and I'm not trying to cape for nobody, but if you all want to hear the difference, go listen to Erica and listen how she fires off about certain things. And she don't just talk about cookie cakes and rainbows over there. She be keeping it all the way 100 over there. Like, for real. In fact, that article that I told you all about how they were trying to, like, back in the day, this is some BGS level shit. But she got she took a picture of like a newspaper in which they were talking about how it's a problem that black women are not working in the homes of these white women, and these women have the fucking nerve to not only be at home but actually find a way to make money from home. Like, she shared that. And a lot of people, and this had nothing to do with the network marketing piece, but a lot of people forget that a lot of that sales and Mary Kay shit, it was a lot of black women that really pioneered doing that shit because they were being at home and see why they were outpacing white women on that shit. So people don't really, so that white woman saw that as a problem because they wanted your ass working. And see, again, nobody is taking more from the black woman than the white woman, and nobody is up the ass of the white woman more than the black one. See, they don't understand. But anyway, I gotta see this failure because this was funny how he basically shot. He said, "Y'all want to have a shot?" He's like, "Come."
So
the initiatives have already been set.
Hold on, let me rewind that shit because that was some beautiful shit.
And did you see?
She really thought she had that.
You see what he did? He probably had some cognac in that motherfucker. Took a sip.
Hold on. But here we go again.
Bitch.
You just want to talk. Nobody want to help me. Just want to talk. But y'all the experts on black women, so why won't y'all help me? See, that's not.
He doesn't let me go to the party. So
just watch it. Watch what he does.
We're way over. I wish we would have you for more time because I feel like you have a lot to say, Ice Cube.
Nigga, I need gaming, man. I need to get petty gaming on this. Finish that. Yo,
Ice Cube wins.
We appreciate this, and I think we can respectfully debate and no feelings hurt. I don't think you are the type that would get hurt. I appreciate y'all.
No, because he this nigga can control whether y'all work. You know, ain't nobody else gonna hire you motherfuckers. I'm in the black side
more
now.
Of this conversation. Would you be open to come back here?
Of course, we family, and can't nobody hurt my family.
That's not true.
See, I'm gonna tell you what.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you what. That's how black men should carry it from now on with black women. If it ain't about business, why am I speaking to you? I'm gonna put the ball in your court. well, why can't black men lead?
But Ice Cube damn sure got the. You know how hard it is for that shit is.
Mm-hmm.
But him to successfully get the last word like that, because they thought they were about to have the last word. Sorry, man. Can y'all hear me better now?
Oh yeah. I keep saying a lot of men do need game, and game is not about how you talk or how you get women's pants. It's just how you conduct yourself in life. That's how you conduct yourself. You don't get to know emotional. You keep it factual. You know what?
Right.
That wasn't as bad as I thought it was, though. That I was seeing in clips. I will say that's not been as bad as like with Simone, Shepard, Sanders, and all of them. Talk about I don't give a fuck about him. Like really, you talking
about that Hall of Fame linebacker?
Yeah, she got some shoulders to your ass though.
She in the Hall of Fame though.
She got some shoulders, man.
Looking like Mike Singletary's big brother.
And people say, "Well, you beating her up?" No, fuck that, man. When you rock a buzz cut like that, you make it.
Well, you can't. Wait. Time. You can't beat her up because technically y'all are not allowed to fight in the same weight class. She's a heavyweight. We featherweights over here. Like, we ain't allowed to fight with her.
Man, she in my weight class, man.
Well,
she's a little big.
That's
big
sad.
Bitch.
That's sad.
Big burly bitch.
Sorry, you a big motherfucker. That's
all y'all hating on Ice Cube. And Ice Cube represented black men.
No, Ice Cube was a G. And this is one thing I think Ice Cube did miss though, because she said something very poignant to the way black women don't understand politics. And then Charles followed up with saying black women don't see 5 minutes ahead in politics. She said, what if you get him in and he doesn't do the plan he promised you? Well, you know what you do? You leverage your vote against the party that promised you something and didn't give it to you.
But they don't understand. Yeah, because they're trying to be right. Yeah.
That's how you do politics. And this is why you don't have women in your strategic HQ. This is why no other group of men allow women to have a voice in their operating room.
Yeah, but, I understand all of that. I ain't trying to cut you off, but I do, because I'm about to end this. But I do understand all of that. The thing about when dudes can't even conceptualize that. They really can't. They honestly can't, like, as far as what you're talking about, because a lot of black men have been trained to bring. You got to remember, if black men are not really operating on emotions when it comes to women, if anybody want to talk about game, that's the one thing. And by the way, yeah, that is a perfect example. I will give you that, Charles. But at the same time, too many dudes, when they interact with women, are bringing emotions into it. And when I say emotions, wanting to be validated by a female, you're already compromised. This is why I always say, don't have the mindset of wanting to improve for a woman, because it's almost like when you have the mindset where you're improving for a woman, she can invalidate what you did. And a lot of people don't understand that. So psychologically, that's usually gonna happen, not necessarily. But if you improve, some niggas be wanting to improve for one bitch. And then if that one bitch don't deal with them, all of a sudden these niggas, man, it's people like that, man. Anyway, I'm gonna let y'all get y'all final words, starting with Charles, and then I'm gonna end this because I lied. I said I didn't want to make this 3 hours. This is like 2.5. I will give y'all credit for giving me some super chats. That helped, truck it along. Even though that shit's like its own E when it comes to gas, but I'm not hating.
Can I say one more thing before I go?
I'm glad I hit all this. Yeah, so you go first, then Charles, then Archer.
Okay. I just want to say I think a lot of men confuse respect with validation. They get those misconstrued.
That's a good point. That's actually a really good point. They do. A lot of men do. Especially, yeah. That's actually a really good point. That's a point worthy of a video. Charles?
Charles, you there, bro?
They want you to be a high earning beta male.
Whoa! I'm back. I didn't know I muted myself. God damn. But anyway, excuse me. I'll be doing a live stream tonight. I'm going to talk about 2 subjects which should be interesting. What men mean about what's a 1 through 10 on the beauty looks. And then we're going to talk about, is it a form of abuse to withhold sex from your spouse? So, if you're not subscribed to Charles Faulkner Jr., I suggest you do so, because we got to go in where it fit in. Woo! Thank you once again, Edward.
Definitely, absolutely. So check him out. Make sure if y'all subscribe to me, y'all subscribe to him. We share traffic over here, and Yeah, it's some good conversations over there. I've been seeing it over there. You know, you need to get those up just like we did with Roger.
Yeah, Charles is doing his thing over there. I've been watching the channel too. He's doing his thing.
Yeah. So and Archer. So what's your last thing?
Well, my last point I want to point out one more thing about the stream. Ice Cube, I don't know if he decided to do this or the person who's in his ear decided to do it, but the smartest thing he could have done was not get on that call with the other black celebrities who had nothing to do with writing up his plan. The Democrats were trying to give him the okey doke when they were trying to drown out his message and have him argue with other black celebrities who might have more credibility with him and try to divide the message. That was their attempt to water down the message. He didn't fall for it. He didn't step in the trap. Whoever's doing his planning for him, or if that's just him, kudos to them for not falling into that trap.
I think he's smart enough to realize that too. But I think the fact that, I mean, you got to remember, man, a lot of these people have been staying away from Dr. Claude Anderson for a reason. Because one thing, these dudes are very confident that they don't want to seem serious. They don't. Because if they seem serious, then they're going to be seen as a serious threat. And if they're seen as a serious threat, the first thing you do to knock these people out is fuck with their money. I mean, if Nick Cannon didn't show you that, I don't know what did. What happened to Nick Cannon is exactly what Snoop Dogg was afraid of, and is why Snoop Dogg bent the fucking knee on that table talk. And 2020 has been a beautiful year in the sense of really highlighting a lot of shit that we've been talking about. And people think, oh, one-offs. No, they're not. Like the one thing in that Facebook thread that I had, this chick just came out of nowhere talking about, I was talking to a person because I wanted a and basically what she's saying is the shit that Kevin said is not unique. The shit that AMS has said is not unique, because AMS, this is exactly what the fuck I've been telling you motherfuckers. All y'all want to jump on, oh, Kevin this, Kevin that. I don't know. Maybe he's this. Okay, fine. You know what? I'm not even going to argue that stupid shit with you. But to these women, AMS is saying the same shit. Jap is saying the same shit. And Jap and AM, nothing like Kevin. Not in the way they motherfuckers be trying to tag Kevin. And then who else he said? Yeah, they're all, everybody's saying the same. For the most part, you got people that's telling them what they want to hear versus people that's telling the truth. And the problem is the dudes that are telling them what they want to hear, that's all they lead with. That's what's important. That is what's important. And again, people can say what the fuck they want to say. Like, even when she called, like, so the fact that she, and that was a random group. That's a group that's not connected to campus in any kind of way. And that's a very large group. That's not a small group. So telling you the stuff that's being said is, and AMS is not as like rowdy as he used to be either. Jap is probably the rowdiest one. But everybody's saying the same shit. So now they're tagging all of that as red pill, and now they're saying, well, red pill is the problem. The problem is, as much, take Black for example, as much shit as Jason Black talks, and Jason Black says, fuck red pill, fuck these guys, these are this and this, Jason Black says the same shit. Come down to it. Yeah, Jason Black's gonna be more likely to to tell black men they need to step up. But at the end of the day, Jason Black is not telling black men to step up for bitches that are not worthy to be stepped up to. Jason Black is not telling black men to step up and to sit there and to get with women that are not qualified. Now, he ain't gonna tell you to hop, but he ain't gonna tell you to get with women that are not qualified. And the truth is, Jason Black's solution is to tell black women to double up and triple up with a dude. If that is a winner, which is basically what a high value man is for Jason Black in his mind, then black women need to go ahead and he's not a polygamist, but he said black men need to go ahead and double up. He said it's better to be with 25% of a winner than 100% of a loser. And see, and a lot of sisters are starting to get desperate enough to where that shit's starting to sound right. Because at the end of the day, he can talk shit about Kevin and us all day. But guess what? When they sit there and they call Kevin and they realize that Kevin's telling them, you don't qualify for a high value man. And then they say, okay, well, Jason's talking shit about Kevin. So let's see what he does, since he's the black authority with the black book. Jason's telling you, well, you may qualify for a quarter of one. And a lot of these chicks don't qualify for that. And by the way, the women that know they qualify, they can get that, are already doing that. That's the side piece game. Because at the end of the day, Jason Black is not married to any of these chicks. So he can say what he want to say, but he ain't married either. So at the end of the day, man, everybody is, if they're telling the truth and they ain't got no money, some of them are making money off black women still telling that. They're saying the same thing. Even fucking Umar Johnson had to tell the truth. It's undeniable, and it's getting more and more undeniable, and it's getting more and more obvious that people want you to get money out you. And hey, it is what it is, man. I mean, it is what it is, man. You know, it is what it is. Because even though this information is really not for women, there's nothing that comes out of my mouth with the intention of everything that comes out of my mouth is the intention of basically improving the situation. But the problem is you have to be willing to hear the truth, to accept it and to act on it. If you're just gonna play this game where I'm gonna do la 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 la, I can't hear you. Well, that doesn't mean shit. If you say I don't see a flu there. So anyway, with that being said, man, I had this at 2.5 hours, so I did me a good little run. Appreciate y'all for showing up. Again, I'm gonna end this. Make sure. Hold on. I'm about to put this in that. Make this worth something. Make sure you all sign up. Subscribe to everybody. I should do a channel, Everybody Hates Black Men. I should do that. In fact, I might do that. I don't know. But that's actually gonna be like, oh, I actually got a good idea with that. EHBM. That's gonna be my celebrity trend. Make sure y'all subscribe to that, because dude, I'm trying to put together ultimately like a network. I appreciate that, Corey. And I'm gonna start getting to the point. That's one thing with this channel we're gonna do. We are gonna start doing more live streams. We're gonna start doing more interviews. I'm gonna do a lot of different things. Yes, I may have some women on the panel, but probably those will be one-on-one interviews. And make sure you all subscribe to Classic Man Mag. All right, so with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.